WebSportsRadio.com, in association with KBFL, proudly presents
Kovacic, right side, low along the goal line, swings around the official. Kovacic still with it, gets it up high, now works it to Anderson, across to Brown. Here comes Brown, he shoots, he scores!
Missouri State University Ice Hockey.
Barrett is there, gets it in front to O'Brien, blocker save as he got the shot off. May have been going wide anyway. Schumacher races to keep it in on the left side. Now the right side to Johansson. He shoots, he scored! It may have been tipped in or not, but it's Johansson's goal.
I don't think it was.
And the Ice Bears take the lead 1-0. That is his first goal this season. And the way that the Ice Bears reacted, I think they are going to give it to Johansson.
Yeah, I don't think it was deflected at all.
With the call, here's Steve Casson.
And live from Jordan Valley Ice Park in the Stan Melton Ice Arena, it is Game 2 between Missouri State and Arizona State University. Hello, everybody. Steve Casson, joined in the broadcast booth by Dan Dow. Not giving us the scores today, but Dan is going to be giving us the color here for this hockey game today.
Well, I can still give you the scores if need be, as long as we can find the time.
Oh, you'll definitely be doing that for sure. Well, welcome everybody, and I want to give a big thanks to Mediacom 22. We are using their camera feed tonight, so you're going to see a very professional feed. That's the one thing I'm happy about. Mike Wingo is the center ice cameraman. He's giving you kind of the sights and sounds of what's going on here at Mediacom Ice Park, or Jordan Valley Ice Park. I knew I was going to say that. It's because it's Mediacom 22 at Jordan Valley Ice Park. But
former naming rights, all
exactly.
that hoopla.
So Mike is going to be doing the camera work. We cannot control it other than the replays you'll see from us tonight. But other than that, big thank you to Mediacom 22 allowing us to tap into their camera feed here tonight. And that means you don't have to do camera duty.
Yeah, you might get to hear my voice a little bit more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, one less thing for me to do, I'll take it.
With my throat the way it is, it's definitely a good thing at this point. I tell you, it's not as bad. The air is not, I mean, at least for me, I'm sitting down below. You're standing up, so.
Well, it's not too bad from this view either.
That's good. So a little bit better view I think you're going to have as you watch on Web Sports Radio of not only the Zamboni and the people in the crowd, but just a lot of fun going on today with Mike Wingo doing all of the video work here tonight. So enjoy, as I know a lot of fans will, but they did not enjoy yesterday's game. That is for sure. Missouri State lost yesterday. 4 goals scored by Arizona State in a span of 4:32. That is the last 4:32 of the third period. As of 1:04 of the third, the Ice Bears had a 4-1 lead. Hunter Cooley got the goal. Bell with the assist as he kind of swiped at it right in front of the goaltender and it went in. But then after that, at 15:28, Kowalchuk, shorthanded, Larson at 16:44, Kowalchuk again at 18:05, and then at 19:22, the game winner, Plord gets it. And I talked to a couple of the Ice Bears yesterday, and I said, what happened? And Jordan Bratton's one of them, and he said, we don't know. We couldn't figure out how to stop it. It was just like an open wound that was just bleeding, and they couldn't wrap a bandage on it. They couldn't find the bandage. It was that bad what happened to Missouri State. Probably the worst loss for the Ice Bears ever. Now, on the other hand, Dan, you've been with me when Missouri State has pulled wins out of their hat. One of them was against Colorado here.
And that's what you love about sports, is you can get to see both sides of the coin when it comes to that scenario. But either way, the last night's loss is going to sting for Missouri State. It's one of those things where, as cliched as it sounds, we always talk about playing a 60-minute game, and last night you could argue it was a 55-minute game, and those last 5 minutes were just killer for Missouri State.
One of the things that I think happened, I was looking over and I was talking to a couple of people as to what may have happened yesterday, at least on a couple goals. This is between you and me, so don't tell anybody else, okay? I believe Arizona State let Missouri State win the face-off. The 2 face-off goals I believe they let Missouri State win the faceoff, and here's the reason why I think that. Because there's always set faceoff drills that teams do. And I wonder if they picked up on that. Because what you're going to have is, if you win the faceoff, it's dropped down back below, you got a guy breaking to the opposite corner, you're going to rim it around. I mean, there's all these different strategies that you use for faceoffs. I wonder if they figured out what Missouri State was doing, let them win the draw, because 2 of those goals were scored on the right side with open and no coverage. Why? Because the guy was breaking to the other side. I think that's what happened. But that being said, you can't always rely on that. Coaches are going to change things up, and hopefully Missouri State will change things up tonight if that indeed did happen.
Yeah, and the scouting ability, you have to give credit to Arizona State last night. They were able to take control of the last 4+ minutes of that game, and like you had said, use strategy, use scouting, able to see where Missouri State's going. And we kind of saw a similar scenario again in the second game against Colorado State. Missouri State just seemed gassed the last period, and whether that's just from the intensity of the game itself, or in the case of Colorado not being not being an area where you play too often, you have that high altitude, and it takes its toll after a while. But it's something that Missouri State's going to look to fix tonight and hopefully earn a split with this series against the Sun Devils.
Arizona State leads the Lifetime Series, winning 6 of 10 meetings. Both of the teams did not play each other when Missouri State joined Division I beginning in 15-16. If you remember, that's because Arizona State became a NCAA team, so they didn't have a team. Each team has, actually, Arizona State has outscored Missouri State by a count of 33-32 in the 9 games. So it's been relatively close. Only 3 contests have been 1-goal games, and all those games have been Missouri State losses, including yesterday's game. The interesting thing is Arizona State has scored 5 goals in 4 of the 10 contests. So first thing for Missouri State, you want to prevent goals. The second thing, as I mentioned yesterday, is Missouri State up until yesterday, and of course they did not do it yesterday, but had scored the first goal of the game the prior 3 games, which were all wins.
And that's what you'd like to see from a team, is being able to battle back from a deficit. And we had seen yesterday they kind of put their foot on the gas a little bit, especially towards the end of the first, and especially into that second period. They were able to have a 3-1 lead at the second intermission, get an early 4th goal in that 3rd period, and, well, hindsight being 20/20, it's one of those things where you have to keep your foot on the gas. You have to keep battling. You have to win face-offs. You have to clear the puck out of your defensive zone, and you have to buckle down defensively to make sure you can hold a 3-goal lead.
Yesterday, Missouri State was 2 for 5 on the power play, and Arizona State 0 for 4. So what does that do? Lifetime, that evens up the statistics with the hockey clubs. Missouri State on the power play now 11 for 46, 23.9%. 12 for 50 are the Sun Devils at 24%. So you convert that into penalty kill. Missouri State, 12 out of 50, 76% on the penalty kill, and 11 for 46, 76.1 for Arizona State. So relatively even special teams wise, with the exception of the shorthanded goal the Ice Bears gave up, just their second in the season, and second ever against Arizona State. So the Ice Bears hope to start things off, and would you agree, Dan, that's what they got to do, start things off early this contest?
Quick start, see if you can catch Arizona State off on the back of their heels a little bit, be able to get that first goal, which is something that they have, like you had said, Steve, something that they haven't done the last couple of games. It's always important to get that first goal, and we'll see if Missouri State can do that, see if they can, run roughshod a little bit, use their energy like they had from the end of the first in that second period last night, and convert it into something they can be successful with tonight.
Referees are out onto the ice, Rich Palo and Jason Carrera, and then the linesman, Mark Marzola, and you remember this name, don't you, Brendan Huber?
It's been a while, but yes,
he is a linesman.
The former Ice Bear great himself.
A lot of former Ice Bears great, so to speak, are reffing games. And they, of course, are very impartial, or they would not be reffing the games, but they definitely are. So Missouri State in nets tonight. They are going to start Bailey Stevens. Stevens in 5 games, he's 1-3-1 with a 3.01 goals against average and a .926 save percentage for the junior out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. For Arizona State, it is Nathan Sievertson. Sievertson in 3 games, he's 1-2 with a 2.33 goals against average and a .939 save percentage. As you take a look at head coach Tate Green, we'll talk to him at the first period intermission, and then we'll have a chat with the Western Collegiate Hockey League commissioner and Chris Perry coming up at the second intermission. But that guy right there, Tate Green, will be our guest coming up in the first period. As Arizona State makes their way out onto the ice, and you'll probably remember this guy who's doing the public address announcing for us, Stan Melton.
Oh, no kidding.
He is.
Mr. Ice Bear himself.
Yeah, for the most part, definitely.
Remind me to try talking to him after the game. It's been a while. I got to catch up with him.
Well, you have to head over to Civil Kitchen when we do our coaches show.
That's TBD, but we'll see. We'll see.
There you go. So let's head on down to Stan Melton for the introductions and the on-ice festivities.
And I'm Stan Melton.
Or not.
Announcer for tonight. Ice Bears fans, make sure you take time to visit the Ice
Well,
Bears merchandise booth.
Yeah, somebody has changed our audio. I'm going to have to go fix that audio for us. So, Dan, I'm going to let you talk. I know it's scary, but got any out-of-town scoreboards?
Yeah, we can go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay,
You can also sign up to participate in the main man shootout for your chance.
we get the out-of-town scoreboards ready to go, and you look at head coach Jeremy Law of Missouri State, I will go try to get that feed ready for you here in just a second.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, early games this afternoon. We have number 21, Stony Brook, splitting their series with Syracuse 5-4. We've got in WCHL action, we've got Oklahoma beating Midland 4-2. And a very, very great series for Central Oklahoma as they were able to sweep a top-ranked team in Lindenwood 3-1. We've got Jamestown 6, Colorado 1. That is late in the third period. We've got Ohio up 1-0. That's still early in the first. And those are the only ones, I believe, that have been started for the time being as the Ice Bears work their way out onto the ice. Their head coach, Jeremy Law, assistant coach, Brendan McClue. As Missouri State looks to split this series with the Sun Devils. As Steve has mentioned, Bailey Stevens getting the start in net, and hopefully we'll be able to get said audio for the announcements for Missouri State here in a couple of moments. Well, we are getting the starting lineup for Arizona State at the moment. We've got Elliot Plord, Clayton Mackey, Brendan Studioso, 8 goals and 14 assists. We've got Michael Slavic on defense. Second starting defenseman is Jack Halsworth.
State Sun Devils, number 30, Nathan Severtson. The Sun Devils are coached by head coach Tate Green and assistant coach James Nellis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of Springfield, Missouri, inside the Jordan Valley Ice Park and within the Stan Melton Arena, it's time. Everyone, get on your feet. let's meet the starters for your Missouri State Ice Bears. Starting at left wing, a sophomore from St. Louis, number 24, Hunter Cooley. Starting at right wing, a junior from Alton, Illinois, welcome number 79, Alex Rubin. Starting at center, a senior from St. Louis, number 16, welcome Josh Bell. Starting on defense for the Bears, a senior from St. Louis on right defense, number 18, it's Chris Brown. Starting at left defense, a graduate student from St. Peters, Missouri, number 6, welcome Brian Fuller. In goal tonight for the Ice Bears, a junior from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, welcome number 50, Bailey Stevens. The Ice Bears are coached by head coach Jeremy Law and assistant coach Brendan McClue. Referees for tonight's game, Jason Carrera, Richie Paulo, Brendan Huber, and Mark Marzola. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem, tonight performed by Genevieve Valentine.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, Dan, thanks for keeping us going on the out-of-town scoreboard while I tried to figure out our sound system. Our sound issue more than anything.
Hashtag club hockey problems.
Well, I don't know if we want to be considered that way, but again, folks, I want to make a big thank you to Mediacom 22. That is the center ice camera feed that you're getting from us today. It is not our feed. It is Mediacom, who they do a lot of Missouri State athletic events, and to here tonight they're to cover Missouri State hockey. Well, I said, can I plug into your feed? And so we definitely get the feed tonight. We can't control it, but we'll do our best to describe it for you. Missouri State will skate from the left to the right, and from the right to the left it will be Arizona State, and we are moments away from game number 2. Josh Bell will come in and take the draw with Brendan Studioso, and Bell will win it, and Missouri State will have control momentarily as it's backhanded in by Elliott Plord. Back down to the Missouri State zone. Ice Bears pinned in their own zone, flipped up off the boards, and tipped out to center ice, and here comes Hunter Cooley. Flips a high fly ball into the back of the zone there. Ice Bears have it. Get a weak shot off on the right side, taken away by Studioso and cleared just to the line, and Missouri State will send it right back in on a delayed offside. Just underway here in the first period. Michael Slavic sends it out to center ice, and it hits a player. We get hand pass, okay? So the hand pass will bring it back into the Arizona State zone, and we'll take that.
Well, one guy, Steve, I kind of look forward to watching tonight is our starting center tonight in Josh Bell, who's been on fire as of late, had multiple points for the umpteenth time again this year. And in all honesty, in his senior year, it looks like he's kind of developing into that all-around player that we had expected.
Off the draw, it is won by Arizona State. Near side boards, the Ice Bears have it. Grabbed by Jordan Bratton of Missouri State. Dropped down in low, going to work it to Zane O'Brien. Now right side, shot hits the shoulder of Hoffenkamp, and it's held in. Good play there by the Ice Bears. Miller tried to clear it, couldn't do it, and Zane O'Brien gets pulled down. No penalty. Play continues. Now we do get a penalty. The official said yes, so the Ice Bears have it. They're going to get the goaltender off. Missouri State works it. Now it comes to O'Brien, to Bratton. Gets it up to Barrett, drive and a save, and the Ice Bears go on the first power play of this hockey game, and Dan, it's turned around, at least here in this opening minutes of the period. The Ice Bears are doing all of the hitting.
A great up-tempo start for the Ice Bears. Exactly, Steve. And I was just about to compliment Kenneth Miller, who's going to the box right now for interference. He was trying to do all he can while he was sitting on the ice to prevent the Ice Bears from getting a good opportunity, but as the puck went away, he ended up checking an Ice Bears forward and is now sitting in the box.
So the Ice Bears have it on the power play. Missouri State 13 for 55, 23.6%, and they get it right up the middle. It's intercepted, taken away by Jet Larson. He clears it all the way down. Sun Devils on the penalty kill, and I did verify this. 16 for 93, 82.8%. They have been shorthanded 93 times. This is number 94. That's a lot early in this season. Here is Cooley with it. Cooley behind the net. Still working it to the far side. He's double teamed, but he gets it off. Drive in, shot, save, rebound, loose, and trying to get a backhander in front was Matt Matty, and nothing doing there. Or no, it's not. That was Heinrich Lohman, number 11. Line change, penalty killer-wise for Arizona State, and the Ice Bears back of their own zone with 1:09 remaining in the power play. They're going to work it up to center ice. Get it across the line to Alex Smith. Smith in too deep, taken away. It's not cleared. Ice Bears have it. Smith with it. Smith spins, gets it down in low to Barrett. Make that Jordan Bratton. Bratton will work it. These numbers are very hard to read. It goes left side. Now to the right side to Sam Heiseroth. Heiseroth drops it down in low. Nobody there for Missouri State. Not even O'Brien. Goes past him. It's cleared on the line. Held in apparently. It's still good, but now taken away and cleared out to center by Jack Hallsworth.
A lot of passing for Missouri State early on in this power play. A couple good chances with Lohman sitting in front of the net. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to bury.
Ice Bears try to work it into the zone. They do. This may be an icing call, and it is. 17:03 to go in the period. The icing will bring it back into the Missouri State end of the ice. Again, thanks so much for tuning in, and big thanks to Mediacom Channel 22 and Mike Wingo on center ice camera position. We're plugging into their feed tonight.
And for those who missed the game last night, Missouri State is wearing camouflage jerseys for Military Appreciation Weekend, EP for me to say. So now that I'm in person, you kind of realize it is difficult to read those numbers on the back.
You didn't think I was joking. It's absolutely, and there's nothing on the sleeves either. They never consult me. It's okay. You get it.
I guess that's what the helmets are for?
Yeah, but it's hard to read the helmets too sometimes.
Right.
Puck in the center ice area. Ice Bears have it. They drop it down in low. It's kicked out to center. Here might be a break. Late change from Missouri State. Studioso left side. Gets a shot off, and it's deflected deck down. Even strength as we're 5-on-5. Puck cleared out to center ice, and it'll be chased all the way down to the ASU zone by Alex Searing. Searing out of his own end. Gives it up to Studioso. Now left side to Plord. Back to Studioso. In front to Plord. In a shot in on the trailer by Lackey that gets deflected into the corner. Now another opportunity. This one for Kowalchuk gets blockered into the corner by Stevens, and it's cleared out to center ice. Racing, trying to tackle through a couple of people is Jack Brackbill, enough to make them ice it. Do we get an icing call? No. So full sail line change for Arizona State. Ice Bears ready to move the puck out. They still can't do it. Hits a skate, stays in. Chased down by Plord. Far side. Working it now is Hallsworth. Sends it down in low. Plord puts a check. Comes up the middle, and Stevens will hold on to it. 15:38 to go in the first period, and shots are 2-1 in favor of Missouri State.
Some cycling there for the Sun Devils, able to get the pass in front to Tim Hoffenkamp for Arizona State, and Stevens is up to the task early with a couple big saves. And a lot of this, Steve, I think kind of stemmed from the end of that power play with Missouri State almost getting caught in a line change. You saw Studioso get behind the defense just a little bit, but Stevens was able to hold the post and get an early save on him as well.
Off the draw, the Ice Bears will try to win it. Can they control it? Well, they do have possession, but still can't get it out of their own zone. Now held on the line by Havner, Adam Havner. 5 goals, 11 assists for the St. Louis, Missouri product. Puck clicked a kick that is at the line and sent in by Stuart Hopkins of Missouri State. It'll go to Connor Crunk of ASU. Intercepted, well, taken by Havner instead. But the Ice Bears do intercept to the line, not able to control it. Puck across in the Missouri State zone. Husted with it. Now a shot in. Stevens steers aside. That one came off of Husted. Goes to the left side. Far side now. Spencer Sollenbach to check in. And gets it out to center ice. Too far as it's off the stick of an Ice Bear. That is Hopkins. And the Ice Bears will change. Arizona State in their own zone. Coming in 12-5-1 this season, ranked number 13 in ACHA Division I. Husted tried to make a move. Cut off at the corner, and now it goes to the near side. Fresh off the bench, Kowalczyk. Can he keep it in? He does not. Cleared back down to the ASU zone. Chasing for the Ice Bears is Bell. Bell gets stood up at the wall, goes behind the net. Now working it is Rubin. Comes right up the middle. Nobody there for Missouri State. Sent back down in low. Rubin will be the recipient of things. He gets pulled off the play. It flips up and out of play, hits the net. Face off, I believe, will stay in the zone. Line change for both teams, and the face off will stay in the Arizona State end.
And we starting to get that early game chess match, Steve. Teams going back and forth. Arizona State with some chances. Missouri State able to cycle the puck and try to get a few chances and get an offensive zone draw.
Kowalczyk lost it. The Ice Bears have it. And they'll work it to the left side. Not really a good move. It was deflected by Lamphere, and he'll carry it into the zone. But the Ice Bears will intercept. Shots are 2 apiece. No score. Puck comes out to center ice. Here might be a break. Missouri State's O'Brien with a flutterer that is held on to by Sievertson.
Keep up with the Ice Bears.
And I say that because those are the hardest to stop sometimes. Those little fluttering pucks.
And it looked like that puck had deflected off of Lamphere's stick, but Sievertson up to the task and able to glove that one down for an easy save.
Face off in the ASU zone. One, but the Ice Bears, O'Brien is there to tip it away. Trying to kick it now, and the Ice Bears will have it. Left point, shot tipped in front by Barrett. Goes to the near side. Chasing it down is Palumbo. Cannot get to it. The Ice Bears do. It's up the middle, and no, it's not on the line. The officials say offside, as trying to hold it on for Missouri State was Matthew Gregg. So the offside will set things up just outside the zone for a face-off. Dan, I wish people could see our broadcast table. Hall's cough drops, 3 different kinds of water, hot tea.
I was going to say, tis the season for colds and flu and the likes, isn't it?
Yeah, for someone who talks, it's not fun. It'd be different if I'm running the scoreboard or a camera, like Mediacom 22, giving us a great center ice feed. Thanks to Mike Wingo for doing that. Ice Bears try to work the puck. They do, to the point. Chipped by Larson. Stays in the zone, and a stick goes flying. That's an Ice Bear stick, and he picks it up off the bounce. Here we come the other way in the Missouri State zone. Shaw with it. He's cut off behind the net in Missouri State territory. Shaw with another pass that goes to Platt, who spun around, and it's cleared out to center ice. And out to center, where it'll be Slavic. Lead pass with authority. Goes to Larson. Shot in. Blocker to the corner. 3-2 are shots. It should be 3-3 now. And it is. Puck held in. Apparently on the line. And the officials say it's good. Matt Matty on the ice now. Trying to move the puck away. Can't do it. Grabbed by Shaw. 1 goal, 3 assists for the right-handed shooter. Puck cleared out to center. Into the zone now. Ice Bears work the puck. They look for somebody up the middle. Held on the line. Good play by Brown. He waits. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Up by Matty. And Matty will hold on to it. Nobody there as Matty centered it into the left faceoff circle. Except for a Sun Devil. Comes back into the Missouri State zone. Sun Devils with a line change. Ice Bears try to do the same. 4-3 of the shots favor Missouri State. Ice Bears, bad clearing pass again. Here is Studioso with a drive that's deflected. Shot again, hits some bodies, and Missouri State able to clear it out to center ice. They're going for a line change. Score! Heinrich Lohman got the shot, and it deflected off of Brendan Studioso, and Missouri State takes the 1-0 lead.
I don't know how much, Steve, you can blame Sedgwickson for not seeing that off of deflection, but at any rate, that was a wicked, wicked shot coming off of Lohman's stick just inside the zone and beats Severson top glove side for his second goal of the year.
It hit the defenseman and then went into the net, and Lohman scores the goal.
Ice Bears goal! Coming at 11:19 remaining in the first period. Scored by number 11, Henrik Lohman. Assist, number 21, Sam Iserod. Rick's Automotive.
So that's the call there as the Ice Bears take the lead. This is the fourth time Missouri State has taken the lead in a game, and they've won, well, they've won 3 of them. Let's just call it that.
If we go back to that goal, Steve, is just one of those innocent-looking plays where Heiserot was able to feed it up to Lohman, and I believe Missouri State was going off for a line change, and at least the forwards were for Arizona State as well. It was an innocent-looking play, but you had mentioned it earlier with the butterfly shot that Severson had stopped earlier. Just fire it on net and see what happens.
And they do here, and Severson is able to hold on to it. But yeah, that's, you mentioned that because any kind of little deflection is always difficult. And this one was definitely one that had some trouble, and it was deflected by the defenseman too. So Missouri State has the 1-0 lead on their 7th shot of the hockey game. Puck down in the Missouri State zone. Far side. Ice Bears will clear it out to Cooley. Left side across the line. Has some room. Score! And they did, and it went over the shoulder of Severson, and Missouri State has a 2-0 advantage.
And it looks like, Steve, Missouri State's going to be trying to pick that glove side for Severson. Goals on back-to-back shots from Missouri State, and once again, Steve, it's off the rush, going into the zone for Cooley, and just another wicked wrister, this time from the left faceoff circle, giving Missouri State a 2-0 lead.
Fans are happy, as you can tell from our center ice angle camera, but Missouri State has a 2-0 lead. But you know what? They had a 4-1 lead yesterday.
Coming at 10:22 of the first period, scored by number 24, Hunter Cooley. Assist number 79, Alex Rubin.
So just one assist on there as the Ice Bears, with that 2-0 lead. There's a lot of hockey still left. 8th shot. 2 goals and 2 consecutive shots for Missouri State. Here is Braden Shaw trying to get an opportunity there, but the Ice Bears get it out to center ice. Across the line, Barrett has some room. He shoots, blocker save, rebound, and not able to get it was Brackbill. We come the other way, Platt. He'll work it across the line. Into the zone. Getting bumped off the play is Alexander Demon. And now we come with 9 minutes to go into the ASU zone. Kick back out to center ice. Brackbill works it up, and that will do it for the Missouri State rush. Crunk will have it now for ASU. Well, Dan, it's hard to kind of dissect this first period. Missouri State started doing things well. Then some passes were suspect. And all of a sudden, they get 2 goals.
And another chance here.
Here's Maddie with a shot that hits the side of the net. Coming late is Alex Smith to the left point. Smith's there, trying to keep it in. Battle for it. Slavic is able to get it out. And now still a scrum in front of the ASU bench. Back to the Missouri State side. 8:10 to go in the period. Puck cleared out to center. Crunk. Cross ice to Searing. 1 goal and 9 assists for him. And he'll go to the bench. Kowalchuk works it across the line. Oh, we're going to get a penalty against Missouri State. If they call it kneeing, I'll agree, but if they call it anything else but that, they call it trip. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, it looked like one referee called a trip and the other one called a knee, because both of them put their arms up as soon as the incident happened. But at either rate, Missouri State is going on the penalty kill here with 7:44 remaining in this initial period.
So power play number 1 for Arizona State, 10 for 98, 10.2%. Missouri State on the penalty kill, 82.3 at 9 for 51. And they blocked this one, and they are able to sweep it out to center and all the way down.
That's Josh Bell's bread and butter for his Ice Bears career, is blocking shots, isn't it, Steve?
7:44 remaining in the first period. Called on number 8.
Across the Ice Bears Bearhead, now come ASU offside, as carrying it in was Connor Crunk.
I say that because hasn't it been a few times where he's actually injured himself going for shots, being daring and being able to block a few shots here and there?
Well, there's been more than a few times where he's been out. You know, it's really funny because a couple of seasons ago, he was the Ice Bears' leading scorer, and he had been out for 3 weeks. And the Ice Bears had many games between those 3 weeks that he was out.
It just shows the kind of player he is, willing to sacrifice the body to prevent a goal.
And get goals in that respect. Puck right on the doorstep for Bailey Stevens, and he's able to make the save. And now we get helmets coming off.
Ice girls have some merchandise to give away. Please welcome into the stands the Missouri State Ice Girls.
We'll see if anything happens here. I doubt it.
Either way, Stevens ended up with his helmet coming off. An initial shot there from Andrew Husted, trying to see if he can catch Stevens on a screen, and Stevens was able to close the pads and prevent or keep this lead at 2-0 from Missouri State.
So Missouri State scores at 8:41, then at 9:38. And they have a 2-0 lead. Lohman is second, Cooley is eighth. But ASU has 1:08 to go on the power play. Halsworth, left side. And a save by Stevens as Houston was given the puck. And Stevens able to grab it. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Web Sports Radio. I want to also let you know that we are grabbing the feed from Mediacom 22. They do a lot of Missouri State sports, and they are doing the Ice Bears game here tonight. Most of them are live, but this one here is tape delayed. But we are grabbing their center ice camera feed, so again, we appreciate them letting us do it. Off the draw. Puck won by ASU. Once again, it's Houston. Crossing with Kowalchuk. Back to Houston. Drive. Left side now. Halsworth. Shot, save, rebound, loose. Behind the net. Houston again. Kowalchuk. Power play is 43. Up the middle. Backhander's blocked. And a good dive by an Ice Bear. That was Bell, but he couldn't get it out of harm's way. Does get it out enough for the Ice Bears to retreat, get their stick, and set things up. Down the middle, shot blocked in front. Halsworth got that. Hit an Ice Bear skate, and the puck is finally bounced out to center ice, 19 seconds to go. And the Ice Bears may steal the puck, and they do. Enough to get it into the zone. Studioso's there. Missouri State needs the line change, at least does Zane O'Brien. But here's a drive-in blocker saved by Stevens. Power play has expired. And right as the power play expires, Stevens covers up.
Well, it looked like Steve Husted was all over that power play for the Sun Devils, either with shooting or, as we had seen with Bell's diving play, a great keep in the zone to get Arizona State a couple more shots. Had three, I believe, and just added a fourth one just as the penalty expired. But Arizona State, with that power play, able to get a few shots on Stevens.
Shots are 9-8 in favor of Missouri State, and they lead 2-0. Slavic lost it. O'Brien is there. Zane trying to work the puck. Looks like he's gonna not be able to get possession of it just yet. It squirts out right in the middle. Nobody was able to pick it up but Slavic, and he clears. 3-on-2 into the zone. Racing hard, looking to get an opportunity in front was Studioso, denied by Stevens. He got the puck in front, and Stevens puts the right pad down. Now as it hits an Ice Bear's boot, it's sent in on the fly. Chasing it is Bratton. Gets it to the far side. Brackbill to work it. Down in low. Missouri State in the midst of a line change. They have nobody there. 4:50 remaining in the period. Back out to center ice. All the way down to the Missouri State zone. Chris Brown will get it off the boards. Couldn't get it, though, off of Plord's stick. And back into the Missouri State zone for the Ice Bears to set up once again. 4:32 remaining. Coming up, Tate Green of Arizona State will be our guest, the head coach. We get a whistle for a stoppage play. It'll come outside. 2-0 Missouri State. Ice Bears Lohman gets the first goal. This one, as it went off the defenseman's stick and in, and Missouri State takes the lead. And then they make it a 2-0 advantage. On similar drive, this one came off the stick of Cooley, up over the shoulder of Sievertson, and it's 2-0 in favor of Missouri State. But the Ice Bears trying to look for more. Puck in the zone. As it does come out, it'll be the Ice Bears to regain it. Crunk sends it right back in. So both teams playing catch at the neutral zone. Crunk with it another time, shoots it in on the fly, off the back of the boards for Gregg. Can't clear it. Gregg throws the body around. Ice Bears finally have it. Dan, I still think their passes are a little suspect right now.
It's about 50-50, Steve. They, with that rush, or a couple rushes they had earlier, it looked like it was getting a little bit better, but this pushback from Arizona State has causing some ruckus for Missouri State in their passing.
Brown knocks Hoffenkamp off the puck. And sometimes I think the Ice Bears are just trying to move without it. You know, they're looking for that break, they're looking for things, but they don't have complete possession. Broken stick. And whose was it?
Bell's.
It was Bell's, yeah. For a moment there, he played with the broken stick, and the officials let it go.
I'm not sure he realized it until the blade was in the neutral zone after he tried clearing the puck.
I don't think so either. It may have just come out. I don't think it's a broken blade. I think it just came out of its out of the stick, the shaft itself. Near side boards, Cooley sends it behind the net. Intercepted, though. Husted is able to grab it, and he'll carry it out. Looking for a 3-on-2 into the zone. He does get there, but Heiseroth, can he clear it? No, that's Alex Smith, 27. Puck comes up the middle, drive saved by Stevens. It came from behind the net in front to Hoffenkamp, and Stevens was right there to shut the door.
And it looked like Stevens was squared to the puck there, Steve, able to see that all the way. Another great chance for Hoffenkamp, his second one out in front of the net, but Stevens has stopped all the 11 shots he's faced thus far. And to get to your point, Steve, it looked like Arizona's forecheck is really giving the Ice Bears fits at this point. It's 8 unanswered shots for Arizona State in about the last 4 or 5 minutes, which granted a power play will help in that scenario, but I don't think the Ice Bears have had a shot for about 5 or 6 minutes now.
They haven't. 2:18 that is, 2:18 to go in the period. And shots are 11-9 in favor of Arizona State. Again, Tate Green, the head coach of Arizona State, will be our guest coming up at the first intermission. Off the draw, won by the Sun Devils. Behind the Missouri State net. Now trying to work it is Shaw. Braden's there. He gets pulled off the play. Ice Bears have it. Smith, can he clear it? He's held up, but finally gets it out to center. And it's rushed right back in. 1:57 remaining in the period. Missouri State with a 2-on-3 into the zone. Bounce down in low. The Ice Bears have the beeline on. Barrett is there. O'Brien right now to Bratton, and it gets deflected up high. Puck cleared out to center and back in the Missouri State zone. Oh, a bad line change for Missouri State. Here's a good opportunity in front by Sullivan, Aiden Sullivan, and it goes for naught. Couple of line changes now for both teams. And it's Miller for Arizona State. Into the zone, 1:09 remaining. Shot into Stevens, and he's able to hold on.
1 minute remaining in the period.
I'm kind of curious, Steve, how well the ice surface is at this point in time, because as we had just seen, Sullivan with a great chance from just outside the right face-off circle that Stevens was able to get a pad on, but it almost looked like Fuller had blown a tire, lost an edge, and fell down to the ice that gave Sullivan all that space to shoot the puck.
Well, I can tell you by how cold it is in here, the ice surface should be pretty good. A lot of snow out there, though, probably. Less than a minute to go. Arizona State, assistant captain Husted gives it up, and the Ice Bears flip it out to center and whack at it in the zone. Lohman couldn't get it. Ice Bears clear. Lohman has it. 2-on-2. Lohman shot save. Rebound loose. Maddie couldn't pick it up. It goes to Lackey. Right side. Lackey has a 3-on-2. Down the middle of the goaltender, who holds on to Plord's shot. And Bailey Stevens hands the linesman the puck.
And Plord looking for his 12th goal of the season there. And with Henrik Lohman, Steve, being out the last couple of games for that Colorado trip, this is really the first time we've gotten a good look at him in a little while. He's got a pretty good looking wrist shot there. A couple chances earlier in the game, plus the goal. He's having a good start thus far.
Puck is cleared out to center. Studioso with 14 seconds to go. And here comes Studioso across the line in the zone right to Stevens, and he'll hold on with 3.9 seconds left.
Well, Steve, if you're Missouri State going into the beginning of the second period, you got to look to see if you can get some more offensive momentum. The B-line had a pretty good chance with Bratton in front of the net that Sievertson had made the save or had gotten deflected. I don't think it was clean all the way in, as Arizona State gets one last shot before the buzzer.
Yeah, Kowalczuk's shot was blocked, and it went wide. So after one period of play, Bailey Stevens faces 15 shots. Nathan Sievertson faces 10 shots. Oh, I thought they were going to add an extra. They didn't. So power plays, both teams 0 for 1 on the power play, as there was only 2 penalties, 1 for each side. But both of the goals go to Missouri State. Lohman gets the first one, his second of the season, a tip off of the stick of Kowalczuk, and Missouri State takes the 1-0 lead. And then Cooley, almost a similar shot, up over the shoulder of the goaltender, and that's where we end up right now after one period of play, with the Ice Bears leading by a count of 2-0. Dan quickly will recap that period just to say that I still think Missouri State needs to work on our passing. I think that might be a little suspect, but they came out of the gate strong. They got the first goal of the game. That's what you need to do.
And we'll see as well, because especially in the middle stages of that period, Arizona State looked to try to cycle it in front of the net. We'll see if Missouri State can get some more defensemen in front to prevent those shots.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Tate Green, head coach of Arizona State, in just a moment. 2-0 Missouri State after 20 minutes of play.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Hey, Springfield, are you ready for some hockey?
Here's Barrett.
Left side with the B-line on over to O'Brien. Back to Barrett. Score!
Steve Casson here, voice of your Missouri State Ice Bears. Join us at Jordan Valley Ice Park in downtown Springfield for this year's excitement.
This is head coach Jeremy Law. The Bears are back for another season, so check out our schedule at MissouriStateHockey.com and get your tickets now.
Here come the Ice Bears. Turin with Bell catching up. Turin shoots. Score! Oh, baby!
We're back at Jordan Valley Ice Park, Stan Melton Ice Arena. Steve Casson now talking with the head coach of the University of Arizona Sun Devils and Arizona State Sun Devils, that is. Don't want to confuse them with the other guys, but Tate Green. And Tate, bottom line is the season's over. You have done the unbelievable. Yesterday, 4 goals in 4 minutes and 28 seconds. And, you know, Missouri State, I talked to some of the players after the game, and they said, we don't know what happened. We couldn't stop it. There's nothing we could do to stop this. I'm not saying that they thought that they were going to lose the game, but they just knew the momentum had changed. And, you know, I could ask, what did you say between the the second and third period? But it doesn't matter because it didn't start happening until 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left. Do you have a game plan for that?
You know what? Our game plan, Steve, all season, we just promote never stop working. You know, and it would probably be, you could hear me in the minutes leading up to that final 5, constantly reminding the guys, do not give up, do not stop working. We had a similar game like that a couple weeks ago against Central Oklahoma, where we came back late, put in a couple goals. So, you know, we had confidence that we could do it. It was just a matter of trying to convince the guys to believe that they could do it.
Well, they obviously did, and they did it with a shorthanded goal and 2 goals right off the face-off and a long drive from the right face-off dot. And, you know, Arizona State is a team that you're returning 7 players from last season, and I'm looking at just the series statistics between these two teams. Only 3 goals from guys that have returned. So you got a whole new crop of players now, and all of a sudden they've turned into this fantastic team. What are you doing as a coach to get guys on the ice and boom, the next thing you know, you're ready to go?
Well, I think the big difference, Steve, and you saw last year, you guys handed it to us when we were out here, and we just didn't have skill players. And so we really, recruiting-wise, tried to find a couple skill guys, and I think we've obviously done that. And they make just a huge difference when you can, you don't have to grind a goal every time. Every once in a while somebody can just do something special. And we have that so far this season, we've had guys step up that way that just, they'll score goals. I'm not sure how that happened or why it happened, but it's nice to have it. Whereas last year, if we weren't banging in a rebound, we weren't scoring goals.
So kind of a one and done type of situation for last season.
Exactly. The big difference for this group this year is just the skill that's involved, top to bottom.
Talking with Tate Green, the head coach of Arizona State University Sun Devils, and looking down the line, some of the guys. One of the guys that sticks out to me is Clayton Lackey. 10 goals, 15 assists for the forward from Scottsdale, and 1.39 goals points per game average. I looked at him yesterday and I thought, he's got all these goals, he's not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes left in the third period, and now you know why he is who he is.
Yeah, Clayton, he was, I think, kind of like the rest of our group, was just real slow to get out of the chute yesterday. And I think once you saw, once he starts skating, he's as fast as anybody as I've seen in the Western Conference here. So he does special things when he gets moving. It just took us a while to get him going, and hopefully we'll see a little different out of him tonight. You'll get the full Clayton Lackey effect, because it's pretty fun to watch.
That's what I'm worried about. If you're an Ice Bear fan, you don't want to see that. Elliot Plord, another guy that is kind of been all over the ice, 11 goals, 14 assists coming into today's game. And the guy that I think is kind of the Achilles heel, Brendan Studioso, 8 goals, 14 assists. It doesn't matter where the puck is on the ice, he's there.
Yep.
I mean, how do you find these guys?
Brendan, actually, he played for North Iowa in the NA3. His head coach was a good friend of mine who I actually played for. He was very highly recommended, and Brendan is, the kid is, he does everything for us. He kills penalties, he's on the power play, he plays a tough game, he plays a skill game. Unbelievably good kid off the ice. Just great character, great attitude, comes to the rink every day and works hard. He's something special, and for him, guys like him and Clayton and Elliot you're talking about, they're all freshmen. So we plan to build around these guys, and we'll see where it takes us. But right now, it's a great start.
Tate Green, head coach of Arizona State University, is joining us, and I look at Arizona State, and I look at their record of 12-5-1, and I look at Missouri State, who's kind of struggling, but we're playing the same teams. And so I'm thinking, what is it that you do differently from us? And as you mentioned, it's just the grinding and the things that you do. I guess what I'm getting at is we're playing the same teams, but we're playing the same teams within the Western Collegiate Hockey League. It's got to be nice being in that league, since, first of all, you're in an area which is becoming kind of a hotbed of hockey.
Sure.
But you go anywhere west, and there's really not much to play. You got to go east, and to be able to be, for lack of better terms, forced to playing 22 games with the WCHL partners, it's got to be nice.
Yeah, without it. It's having that schedule already pre-made and being able to do a budget a year in advance is very nice, without a doubt. Would I love to see more teams out west to make my travel numbers a little lighter? Certainly, but coming here, Missouri State has always been a strong program. I think your numbers you were showing me yesterday, it's been a minute since ASU has beaten Missouri State, but to come out here and UCO with their 2 national titles, Oklahoma is a much better team this year. They've thumped us. We can't figure them out. If you can offer me any advice on how to beat them, I would take it. But the conference is very competitive, and I like you said, the benefit of having a schedule made and being able to budget that out a year in advance is a big help for us.
Well, you swept UCO last weekend, so I'm going to ask you, how do you work with UCO? Prior to our last meeting with them, we had beaten them 5 in a row, and that is obviously a record. And UCO is actually dear to our heart, because when Craig McAllister was there, it goes back to way back when we were a D2 team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were trying to get better competition to see if we could play in the Division 1 level. No team would take us up on it. Craig said no problem, and as a Division 1 squad, they actually traveled to us and played us. And I remember the one time we beat them. You know, prior to a Division 1 team, we were a Division 2 team, had not beat them. One time here at Jordan Valley Ice Park, we beat them. You would have thought we won the national championship. Sure. And so got to thank Craig for doing that for us. But now that he's kind of stepped back, it's like, okay, how can we beat these guys
take
again?
Advantage of them.
But yeah, you know, and that's got to be amazing when you think about it, because we're talking two-time national champion, Arizona State back when they were a club national champion. You're looking at strong showings every year, so it's got to be nice to do that. I know we enjoy that, but
yep.
It's got to be a great thing. You know, it's funny, I shared with you some power play stats yesterday, and I've totaled them up as of yesterday. So yesterday, Missouri State 2 for 5. You were 0 for 4. With that, everything's kind of evened out now. So Missouri State, 23.9% on the power play. Arizona State, 24% on the power play, which relates on the penalty kill, 76% for Missouri State, 76.1 in the series for Arizona State. So everything's kind of even, with the exception of the fact that you've won 6 out of the 10 games over Missouri State, and of course now have a one-game winning streak. But I think all of a sudden Arizona State's going to become another rival for us.
I hope so. I look forward to that. You know, like I said, we came out here last year and it was a rough weekend for us. You guys thumped us for 2 games. I think you shut us out, at least one of them. So to come out, this is such a cool building and such a cool atmosphere. You know, I try to tell my guys all week, like, this is one of the places we look forward to coming to, because the building's packed. You know, it feels like a college hockey atmosphere. Everybody's super friendly. I can't find another place where I can walk through the crowd like I do without getting heckled. Everybody here is just nice. They step aside and they're just here to enjoy a game. They cheer. They're passionate about their teams, but they're, you know, just a good college hockey atmosphere. So for us to have close games like this and to be, you know, competitive games like that, it definitely, we enjoy it, and it's something we look forward to.
Well, one of the things they will not do is throw beer on you.
Yep, I agree. I've not seen that here yet. I had a couple people over there in the corner offer me beer, but I can't do that between periods. So.
That's true. Yeah, well, they're just trying to make a sale. They probably don't know who you are.
Okay, maybe.
We are talking with Tate Green, the head coach of Arizona State University Sun Devils. Unless maybe they kind of knew who you were and thought, that might
Here's
work.
a way to get
possibly.
me off my game.
But and I hate to talk about it, you know, for Ice Bear fans, they really don't want to, but has the 4 goals in 432 been your best performance with this hockey club?
Oh, yeah.
To win a game?
I would think so. The game against UCO was pretty close to being the same thing, but the way we did this one, you know, and how quick it was, and the decisions that were made, it was pretty cool. Definitely one of the bigger wins I've had with this group in 2 years, no doubt.
Tate Green is our guest, head coach of Arizona State University Sun Devils. Tate, how do you recruit? I mean, where do you get your guys from?
We get them from everywhere, honestly. We've got Alex Demon is here from Russia. We've got a couple kids from Canada. The rest of our kids are scattered from all over the country. You know, we obviously recruit all the junior leagues. We have kids that will approach ASU. They reach out to Coach Powers with the NCAA team, and he immediately just, no, you need to talk to the ACHA program. And then, you know, it's Arizona State. All we got to do is get a kid on campus and see. You know, I'm going to the rink every day in shorts and flip-flops.
Exactly.
You don't have to shovel sunshine. You know, we've got a great university, and obviously the atmosphere is awesome. When kids see they can come here and play a high level of hockey, the hockey community at Arizona State is blowing up right now. We're going to have a new stadium on campus in 2 years, which, you know, and I think we're going to add a third club team next year. Our numbers are through the roof. ASU loves hockey right now, so we're going to take advantage of it.
What division will that be? A Division III then?
I'm working with the D2 commissioner right now to find out. The problem with D3 is there's nobody out there for us to play.
Sure.
We've got one team in Flagstaff and one team in New Mexico. Everything else, I would have to, I think you guys would be the next closest to the West. And so, financially, I don't want to be charging D3 guys more than we got to charge D1. So a few years back when we were in the process of our D1 club going into NCAA, D2 had an exception to let us have 2 teams. So we're hoping something like that. But yeah, we had 128 kids come out for tryouts this year for 2 teams.
That's got to be a good thing, because obviously it's better to be able to have a tough decision trying to pick and choose than a tough decision trying to figure out who to fill your lineup with.
Yep, exactly.
Very
exactly.
nice. As we're talking with Tate Green, head coach of Arizona State University. Your top goaltender, Bronson Moore, not able to make this trip with some family issues, but you have 2 other goaltenders. You look at their record and you say, maybe they're beatable, but they both have shutouts.
Yep, they both have played really well. The games that they've lost, it's not because of them by any means. They've given us a chance each night, and that's another new luxury that we didn't have last year, is having 3 goalies that we're confident to throw in at any time. The guys in the room are all confident in them. They work really hard at practice. All 3 of them are buddies. They hang out, which is kind of weird to me, but they look out for each other. They push each other to be better. So it's another, like I said, a nice luxury to have, that no matter what the night is or what the situation, we got somebody in between the pipes that'll help us.
Tate Green, head coach of Arizona State University. Tate, after today's game, good luck for the rest of the season.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, and again, good luck.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
That is Tate Green, head coach of Arizona State University. We'll take a break. More hockey coming up.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Hey, Springfield, are you ready for some hockey?
Here's Barrett.
Left side with the beeline on over to O'Brien. Back to Barrett. Score!
Steve Casson here, voice of your Missouri State Ice Bears. Join us at Jordan Valley Ice Park in downtown Springfield for this year's excitement.
This is head coach Jeremy Law. The Bears are back for another season, so check out our schedule at MissouriStateHockey.com and get your tickets now.
Here come the Ice Bears. Turin with Bell catching up. Turin shoots. Score! Oh, baby!
It's time to drop the puck on the second period. Here's Steve Casson.
Along with Dan Dowell. I was about to say, and I hope Dan Lee is listening.
We miss you, Dan.
Definitely do miss you, Dan, but along with Dan Dowell. Dan, I know you have some out-of-town scores.
Sure. Let's start off Stony Brook beating Syracuse in the shootout, which I guess technically, according to the computers, is a tie. But they were able to split their weekend series with Syracuse. Oklahoma takes Game 1 against Midland 4-2. Jamestown, as of, I believe, went final about 15 minutes ago. It's Jamestown 6, Colorado 1. They sweep Colorado. And I think this is what really surprised me the most. Central Oklahoma able to sweep Lindenwood 3-1. And only allowed 3 goals in 2 games against a top 5 team.
Which is
very
really
impressive.
crazy since Arizona State swept UCO last weekend.
Exactly, yeah. So, and that's why you play the games, and obviously that set of wins helped Arizona State, and that was a very interesting and a very cool interview with Tate Green for Arizona State, their head coach. Because it sounds like he's got a lot to work with. He only had 7 players returning for this year's roster, and what they've been able to do the last couple of years has been very solid, turning this team into a top 15, currently top 15 team.
Well, as you can hear, Missouri State and Arizona State are out on the ice, and in a moment we'll be ready for period number 2. And again, I want to tell folks, that we are picking up the camera feed from MediaCom 22, so you're getting a lot of different angles. I think they're kind of cool. I like the angles. I like what Mike Wingo is doing. He is the cameraman here for tonight, so absolutely enjoy that. I will say the music is way too loud.
I mean, you gotta get the fans pumped to start the second period as puck drops down for period number 2.
I guess so. Either way, it's getting loud here. Missouri State will skate from the right to left, and Arizona State from the left to the right, and quickly Missouri State with Bell to lead the charge. Into the Arizona State zone. Bell sweeps it away, kicked out to center, and it'll be grabbed by Arizona State. Lackey sends a shot in. That goes by the sliding floor, and it'll be held on to by Bailey Stevens. Quick start again for Missouri State, Dan.
Yeah, and that's what you kind of got to look forward to, turning around the later stages of that first period. Missouri State wanting to get off to a hot start after Arizona State ended up outshooting them 12-1 in the last about 7.5 minutes of that period.
Studioso wins the draw. Lamphere with the shot. It gets deflected out of play by an Ice Bear, so it will stay in the zone. Face off once again. So, Dan, we've had a puck out of play, a face off, a couple of shots, and we're not even 30 seconds into this hockey game.
When teams are probably going to look to open up the ice a little bit after, the initial feeling out process of that first period.
Ice Bears had won the draw, but the puck came back, and it's held in by ASU. Shot is blocked, came off the stick of Lamphere, and it's out to center ice. 19:11 to go in the period.
That one stung Bratton, Steve. He's going off to the bench on an early line change.
So Missouri State has one of their B-line players off the ice, and now Missouri State will full sail change.
And now Barrett's going to the bench limping too. He had gone down on one knee, so that's 2 B-line players hurt in the last 20 seconds or so.
And not a good thing here, as Arizona State with Studioso down the middle. He's triple teamed and coughs up the puck, but still has it right in front. Lackey drive save. Rebound Lackey again. It gets deflected up and out of play. Or off the glass, actually. It's not out of play. It stays in. Here come the Ice Bears. Matt Matty after a big save by Stevens. To Lohman. He shoots. Save. Rebound. There's nobody there. And the goaltender gets taken out by his own man, Kowalchuk. Play continues. 18-17 to go in the period. Ice Bears have it right side. Drop it down in low. It's deflected and stays in after it hit a bad stanchion. It's a bad stanchion, It's bad for keeping it in play. Puck is now taken by ASU. Left to right. Houston. He fanned on the shot. Oh, a big hit applied by the Ice Bears' Jack Brackbill. Now goes behind the net. Hoffenkamp to the near side boards. Missouri State with a 2-on-2. Brackbill to the line. That's as far as it goes. Turned around. And now Hoffenkamp down the middle, right through the crease, and it goes through it. No harm, no foul. Shot in, save Stevens again, as this one came from the left side. Off the stick of Houston. Now hops over Kruk and back down into the ASU zone. Ice Bears with some good pressure. 2-0 Missouri State here in the second period. Goals by Lohman, his second. Cooley, his 8th. Houston, Wine shoots, missing wide to the right. Puck stays in the zone. Drop down in low, past Havner. Taken by Missouri State, cleared to the point. And it is Sollenbach who is able to give it to Hunter Saunders. And Saunders is able to clear. There's some skates. Working now is Plord. Elliot Plord, 11 goals, 14 assists for him this season. Far side boards. And the Ice Bears trying to keep it in, trying to work the puck. Missouri State scored the first goal of the game. It's the 4th time they've done it. They've won 3 other ones when they have scored the first goal. Knocked off the puck is Sollenbach, gets a drive off and picks up his own rebound. Sollenbach looking for some help. Nobody there. Goes to Cooley in the corner. Cooley pushes at the half boards. Squirts out in front to the goaltender, Sievertson. Will hold on. 16-18 to go in the period. and they have the music way too loud. I don't know who's running the music, but
Either way, Steve, I think Missouri State's kind of taken some notes on the back check. They've been able, thus far in the first 3 minutes plus of this period, to keep the play to the outside. As Missouri State gets a chance here.
16-13 to go in the period. Puck to the far side. Cooley's there. Bell to cycle around. And the Ice Bears still trying to work the puck. 16:04 remaining in the period. Puck kicked to Drew Platt. Off of his stick. And swiping at it was Jet Larson. And now given to Platt. Across the line to Larson. He shoots, and a glove save by Stevens. He'll hold on. 15:47 to go in the period. And a 2-0 advantage for Missouri State.
An early third shot here for Arizona State, Steve. But as I was saying, Missouri State able to, looks like, to keep the play deep, allow the longer shots, but that's something that Stevens able to see. And they're able to keep the play to the outside. Unfortunately, that could open up chances in the slot, but thus far it's been minimal.
Well, the B line back on intact. Here comes O'Brien across the line. And a good play by Gregg, but he couldn't keep it on the line. We come the other way. Larson, he gets deflected away from the puck, and it's out to center ice. And the Ice Bears, unfortunately, they saw Matthew Gregg in the corner, and he was skating off. And now we get some pushing and shoving between a couple of players.
But yeah, it looked like, Steve, they were trying to spring Gregg, easy for me to say, Gregg on a breakaway, but it looked like he was limping towards the bench, and unfortunately for Missouri State, they didn't get a stick on that, and I'm kind of curious if they may end up bringing him back out, because you can't make a line change for an icing call.
We must have a new music operator, I guess. Well, what are we going to have? One referee. So are we not going to have a change? They're discussing where to keep the puck. One referee said don't come in the zone as the Ice Bears were. The other one said bring it back out. And now
I'm wondering if they're trying to find all the players that were on the ice at the icing call.
Well, that could be. Face-off will come in the Missouri State zone. And off the draw, it comes right into Stevens with the save. Cleared by Brown. And Barrett, after he sends it out, he's looking at the official saying, why aren't you calling anything? And Barrett's going to take advantage in some liberties, and he better watch it. Because you know who they always get. They always get the retaliator first. Barrett with the puck. B-line on. Lead pass to O'Brien. Picks it up off the boards. Into the zone. O'Brien shoots. It's blocked in front. Good play by Lamphere. We come the other way. It's a 3-on-1. Shaw, as he gets a shot off, it's deflected by Smith and breaks up the 3-on-1. Now Smith pushing his body behind the net. Working it is Shaw. Smith with it to the point. It's still held in up the middle, and fanning on it was Palumbo. He had a good opportunity in front, but he fanned, that is. He didn't plan the fan, but it happened. Shaw working behind the net. Up the middle, here come the Ice Bears, but they do need to change. They're just going to flip it down and look for that change, and everybody comes off. Full sail change for Missouri State. 14:08 to go in the period. Puck is going to be a hand pass. It's touched up, and we get the hand pass. It'll come all the way down into the Arizona State into the ice.
Arizona State with a couple chances in the offensive zone, Steve, but as you had mentioned, a great play by Derek Smith to disrupt the 3-on-1 as a cross-ice pass by Shaw was deflected by him. Not necessarily out of the zone, but it was something that Missouri State was able to limit the offensive chances, and a great play by Smith to get a stick in the way.
Off the draw. Puck is cleared out to center. Here comes ASU. Across the line. Lackey looking for it down in low. Centers it up the middle. Here comes Lackey. He shoots. It's blocked in front. Good block there by Chris Brown. Far side. Comes over to Plord. Drop down. Left face-off dot. Studioso to Miller. He shoots. Saves Stevens. High off the glass. Stays in play. Ice Bears can't clear. ASU working it. Lackey shoots from an odd angle. Goes wide. Puck flipped around. Around the referee. Held in, though. Taken by Lackey. 10 goals, 15 assists. Lackey cross ice over the left side. Working it into Kruk. Kruk gets crunched. Ice Bears have it. Lohman can't tip it out. Stays in the zone. Drop to the corner. 13:04 to go in the period. 2-0 Missouri State. Held in, and a shot from the right side is held on to by Stevens, and the officials did not blow because the play dead because nobody was around there as far as offensive pressure.
Yeah, I guess they were figuring Stevens might have dropped the puck there. Arizona State out shooting Missouri State thus far 6-1 in the second period. And like I said, Steve, Missouri State doing a better job of keeping the play outside of the zone, but you have to worry at this point with Arizona State getting a lot more chances and a lot more offensive zone time in the first 7+ minutes of this period.
Puck comes into the ASU zone, 12:44 to go in the period. Near side. And the Sun Devils cleared out to center ice. Intercepted by the Ice Bears. Stuart Hopkins. Hopkins, sophomore out of Springfield, Missouri, came from the Division III squad last season. Ice Bears have a couple of players on, including Jack Brackbill. Or, no, I take that back. Not Brackbill. Matthew Gray. Puck comes up, shot just missed high and wide. So the Ice Bears had a good chance there. Puck cleared out. Fuller is able to send it in. Brendan Huber, who's the referee.
Was number 6.
Our linesman wore number 6. That's what confused me. It's Fuller to wear it now. Puck flipped back into the Missouri State zone, or to the Iowa State zone by Missouri State's Rubin. Comes up the middle, shot, backhander, score by Bell! Missouri State has a 3-0 lead as Josh Bell gets the backhander in front, and the Ice Bears have a little bit of breathing room.
And I feel like this has been a common theme tonight.
Ice Bears go! Coming at 11:48 into the second period, or remaining in the second period. Scored by number 16, Josh Bell. Assist, number 79, Alex Rubin.
So the Ice Bears with a 3-0 lead. Let's take a look at how that rebound happened. There's the shot and then the putback in. And of course the shot by Rubin. And Missouri State has a 3-0 lead on Josh Bell's 6th goal of the season.
And like I said, Steve, I almost feel like this has been a common theme. Missouri State taking advantage of innocent-looking plays as Rubin was in the corner, able to find an open Bell in front of the net, who pockets it past the goalkeeper, and able to give Missouri State a 3-0 lead.
And keep in mind, they have 3 goaltenders, do Arizona State, but Bronson Moore, who is their normal guy, he's played 10 games this season, is not with the club for this road trip. So they're working 2 other venerable guys in Sievertson and Yasinski, who we saw yesterday. Both have shutouts to their credit. So, but here come the Ice Bears again. Bell crossover pass gets deflected up high. 10:45 to go. Ice Bears on a bad line change. Only one back. Here comes Lackey. Has to get around the defense. He shoots up high and wide. So Missouri State was able to catch up and get back. 10:31 to go. Alex Smith with a good push off. It comes up the middle here. Studioso with a drive, and he missed wide. May have been deflected, and now we get the puck up into the net.
I think Steve Huber, now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Brian Fuller was able to get in front of the shot there to deflect it away because he was shaking his wrist a little bit. Something Missouri State's done quite well tonight is being able to get in front of shots to prevent Stevens from having to make a couple extra saves here as of late. So Missouri State laying the body out tonight.
Face off to the right of Stevens in the zone of Missouri State. Shaw had it, but the Ice Bears are able to clear it, and the beeline on is now with Jordan Bratton having it deflected away from him. Back into the Ice Bear zone for Stevens to stop. Works it off the glass. Gets it to the corner to O'Brien. Gets loose and out to center. He's able to clear it just in time. Shaw tips it in. No icing. Shaw shot. Hits the outside of the net. Works over to Palumbo with it. Now to Shaw. Up the middle. Ice Bears have it. And it is cleared all the way down into the ASU zone. 9:40 to go here in the second period. 3-0 Missouri State. Lohman, Cooley, and Bell. Bell here in the second. Palumbo shot blocked. Barrett behind the net. Searing is there, but Missouri State able to clear it and give it to Jordan Bratton. Now from Brackbill. And going back off the ice is Bratton again, moving his hand. Brown for Missouri State. Near side boards, held in by Miller. Miller drops it down in low. Miller still working the bouncing puck. Ice Bears have it, and they work it to Lohman. Lohman gets as far as the Ice Bears bench, and we come back the other way. In the zone, shot deflected behind the net. Now a couple of players tangle up. That's Husted is one of them. Husted picks up the puck for ASU. Husted circles, still with it. Shoots, and it went through everybody, hit Miller, and deflected wide of the net. Now Miller with it behind for ASU. Up the middle, it'll go to the captain, Kowalchuk. He shoots, missed wide. Rebound, held on to by Stevens, but not enough to get a whistle. Maddie can't put a check. Here comes a shot by Hoffenkamp, blocked. Far side. And can the Ice Bears clear it? Lohman does get it out to center ice, but not enough to make a change. Flipped up, gloved out, hand pass. It'll be a hand pass. Don't forget, our next broadcast will be Missouri State, Central Oklahoma. That'll be Friday, November 22nd. We'll have it for you right here at Jordan Valley Ice Park.
A lot of Ice Bears, Steve, bent over their sticks. This has been a long shift for this lower line for Missouri State as Stevens is able to make a save off the draw, and now they'll be able to change. But a long shift there for one of the lower lines, Steve. And this is the disadvantage you have in the second period, having to go to the opposite side of the ice for a change with these long ice changes for the second period. Missouri State able to weather the storm thus far.
7:56 remaining in the period. Puck kicked up to center and across the line offside. Lackey came in. Offside with 7:49 to go in the period. And the face-off will come just outside the zone. So Missouri State has a 3-0 lead. And again, Dan, it's still kind of tough.
Well, and I think they've gotten better as the period's gone along, and they've done a much better job this game as opposed to, I guess at the very least, the last few minutes of the third period last night, being able to prevent Arizona State's chances from being quality ones, per se.
Puck across the line, Lackey with it, shot in, save. Rebound, cleared out to center ice. Here come the Ice Bears. Brandon Baldwin, he shoots, he scores! Ice Bears are digging that one out of the net. That is Brandon Baldwin's first goal with Missouri State as a Division I member.
And a beautiful one at that, Steve. Just, again, another one of those innocent-looking plays. Baldwin able to use the defenseman as a screen, and I'm not sure if Sievertson was able to track that one the whole way, but at any rate, that beats him glove side again. And Missouri State starting to pour it on a little bit with a 4-0 lead.
Well, we know what happened when Missouri State had a 4-goal advantage, or at least scored 4 goals in a hockey game. It's not over yet.
Ice Bears goal! Coming at 7:11 remaining in the second period. Scored by number 19, Brandon Baldwin. Assist, number 25, Hunter Saunders. Remember, fans, Rick's on.
So just one assist on that, as Baldwin gets his first goal with Missouri State. And Dan, I'm talking cautiously, you know. Until the final buzzer sounds, it's anybody's game, even though Missouri State looks to be in control.
Exactly. They've been able to limit the chances for Arizona State and are able to take advantage of the ones that have been given to them thus far. It hasn't been the most, but of the chances they've been able to get, they've been able to put 4 in thus far, and that percentage is really high.
Demon had his puck stripped from him, and the Ice Bears out of their zone, or out of the ASU zone, out of their zone I meant, and the puck gets flipped back in on a offside, or a delayed offside on ASU, so we will do this all again. 5:51 remaining in the period. Goals by Lohman in the first at 8:41, his second, Cooley his 8th at 9:38, at 8:12, Bell his 6th, and then Baldwin gets his first for Missouri State, that one coming at 12:49, and Missouri State has a 4-0 lead, although Arizona State still working the puck. In the Ice Bears zone, it went off of Kowalchuk and down low. Up the middle, fanning on it, coming in was Havner, and it is taken by Barrett and killed out to center ice. Missouri State outshot 23-15, but they lead on the scoreboard 4-0. Puck sent in for an icing call, and it's with 5:12 that is to go in the period. Going to be back into the Missouri State end of the ice.
And we've kind of noticed, Steve, especially with that Baldwin goal, Missouri State's trying to get some early shots as they enter the zone, trying to catch Sievertson off guard, and obviously with 4 goals, they've been very successful with that on just 15 shots.
We'll do it again after the face-off. 5:09 to go in the period. Steve Casson, Dan Dowell, thanks for tuning in. And again, Mike Wingo doing camera work, but we are picking up the feed from Mediacom 22. They are a local television station here in Springfield that covers a lot of Missouri State games, but they're doing this one, and we're picking up the feed. 2-on-1 in, and a save as Husted had the 2-on-1, elected to take the shot, and Bailey Stevens makes the save.
And this is one of those things, Steve, that if you're a Missouri State fan, you like to see from Stevens going out to challenge that puck against Husted, who's had plenty of chances tonight in his own right, but Stevens able to keep that puck down and able to cover up the rebound to prevent the Sun Devils from getting more chances.
Play is underway. Out to center ice. And the Sun Devils work. Ranked number 13 in ACHA Division I, Missouri State number 26. Puck cleared out to center. And the Sun Devils will clear the zone. That gives Brown for Missouri State a little bit of time to maneuver behind the net. Gets around the check of Plord. Comes to the corner, and Bell with it. Bell right side. Bell tries to step around his man, drops it off to Cooley, comes out in front, shot Save, rebound in front, another save is right out in front. The Ice Bears had a man in the crease. Can't read his number just yet. That looks like Ruben. Ruben got a fantastic shot and a huge save in front. Now, across the line, Lackey in the Missouri State zone gets a shot off, and Stevens says that's it. We'll cover up. 3:59 to go in the period, and still a 4-0 lead for Missouri State.
Well, like you said, Steve, a grade A chance for Alex Rubin, who already has 2 points on the night, looking for his third, as Bell and Cooley were able to work some magic on the right side of the net, able to find Rubin in front all alone, but a big save by Sievertson to keep Arizona at a 4-goal deficit.
So the face-off in the Missouri State zone, behind the net. Trying to work something is Aiden Sullivan, but it's kicked out to center, and here come the Ice Bears. Lohman racing down, makes it a 2-on-1. Lohman shoots, and a glove save. Held on to by Sievertson.
And another chance there, Steve, for Lohman, as he's able to corral the puck and doing what Missouri State's done often tonight with a quick shot. But Sievertson was able to hug the post and get a glove on that one to make the save.
So the Ice Bears still with a 4-0 lead and 3:33 to go in the period. Don't forget that we will have Chris Perry, the WCHL commissioner, joining us. Second period intermission. Puck off the boards, drive missing wide by Smith. Here's a shot that sails wide of Sievertson. 3:06 remaining in the period. Far side again. Ice Bears down low in the Arizona State zone. Missouri State with a small change. And it's cleared by the Sun Devils back in the Missouri State zone from left to right. Stuart Hopkins. He gets tripped. We're going to get a penalty. And Missouri State will go on the power play. 2:41 to go in the period.
It looks like that's going to be Aiden Sullivan, Steve, getting a little bit too adventurous going into the offensive zone, getting his stick in between one of the Ice Bears defenseman's skates, and he goes down. And a chance for Missouri State to extend this lead on their second power play of the evening.
So the Ice Bears, with just the second power play, as you mentioned, there have only been 3 total penalties in this hockey game. And Missouri State, on the power play, 13 for 55, 23.6%. And the fans are hoping they score, because if they do, that's an Andy's frozen custard. Puck comes in, just missing wide. It gets deflected out. High slot. Brown down in low. Nobody there for Missouri State. Coming in at the half boards and kicking it out for the Ice Bears is Lohman. And Lohman's going to get a penalty, a high stick. Lohman got his stick up high. That does it for the power play.
And Arizona.
Well, they're going to call him rough either way.
Okay, either way, Arizona State being very aggressive following the puck and able to draw a call on Lohman. And just after 30 seconds of power play time, we'll skate 4-on-4 for 1:28.
So the only thing that this does is bring the face-off back in the Missouri State zone.
2:09 remaining in the second period. Called on number 11, Henrik Lohman.
Houston
2 minutes, 4-0.
and Bratton for Missouri State. It's won by ASU. Taken by Kowalchuk. Over to Husted. Husted again. Still breaking free behind the net. Trying to get everybody to move. Husted has some room, but instead he'll go behind to Havner. Now over to Hoefenkamp. Ice Bears trying to put some defense in. Not able to do it. And finally they are able to move it out to center ice with Alex Smith off of his stick. Ice Bears get back. Offenkamp has it, kicked out. Good play by O'Brien. Or make that, no, that's Jordan Bratton. Now the Ice Bears pushing and getting away with it. Smith has it. Here's a lead pass to Barrett. Can he catch up to it? Barrett does. But that's as far as he's going to go with it, as we're 25 seconds away from a short power play for the Sun Devils. This will be number 2 for them.
1 minute remaining.
Less than a minute to go in the period, so some of these, no, they will not carry over actually. Bouncing puck comes into Sievertson. He'll hold on. 51.4 seconds remaining. In 10 seconds, it'll be a 32-second power play for ASU, and there's 51.4 remaining in the period. So barring any further penalties, we should start period number 3, 5-on-5.
I know he hasn't made the score sheet tonight yet, Steve, but a lot of kudos tonight goes to Derek Smith. He's been a bull in the china shop as far as his physicality goes, and he's been able to direct players on the ice and has gotten into quite a few lanes to disrupt Arizona State's passes.
Definitely has. Here come the Sun Devils. They're going to work it down in low to Studioso. Lackey shoots it around and rims it over to Husted. With his back to the play, it is kicked out to center, and the Ice Bears are able to clear. Now it's a short power play. Number 2 with 9 seconds remaining for Arizona State. Lackey. He gets tripped by Bell. Penalty. Penalty upcoming. Ice Bears touch the puck. It's a tripping call, or they're going to call hooking. Bell's not happy with it. Not at all.
And it looked like he did get his stick up a little bit, Steve, on Lackey. The fortunate thing for Missouri State is that Lohman's penalty expired, so this will just be another 5-on-4 chance for the Sun Devils, their third opportunity of the evening with just over 6 seconds remaining here in the second period.
Number 16, Josh Bell.
Trying to see
2 minutes for
if that penalty was a legitimate call, and I don't think we got it on video. So the power play will have 1:53 when we start the third period for Arizona State. But the Ice Bears have a 4-0 lead. We'll go back to the first period, 8:41. Lohman gets the first one. The Ice Bears have a 1-0 advantage. Then Cooley at 9:38, his 8th of the season, and the Ice Bears have a 2-0 lead. Bell at 8:12 of the second, his 6th of the season, and Missouri State is rocking and rolling. And then Baldwin at 12:49, and that's where we are right now. Shots on goal in the period. Is that right? One shot? No, I got it.
I believe Arizona State had 10 and Missouri State had 6. Was that 10 for them going into the period?
I've got it reversed. So, yeah, Missouri State was 6 for a 2-period total of 16, and 10 on Stevens' 2-period total of 25. I thought that was wrong, but power plays 0 for 2 for both teams, but again, we'll have another power play coming up for Arizona State. I think it's almost time to take a break because I can't talk right now, Dan. I don't know about you, but quickly let's discuss that second period. What do you think?
Well, Arizona State doing a good job at limiting Missouri State's chances, but again, Steve, you got to give credit where credit is due. The Ice Bears are taking advantage with the little opportunities they've had. Just as we had mentioned, 6 shots in that second period, but 2 of them went in. A 33% shooting percentage is a pretty darn good percentage for a period, if you ask me.
And even though being outshot, Missouri State seemed to fix a couple of things we talked about. I think they fixed their passing, and I think they were able to improve on getting in the zone. That's one of the issues they had yesterday.
Yeah, and granted, I don't think it has been as much substantial offensive zone time as they would like. But then again, it's one of those things where, and again, we've got 20 minutes remaining in regulation after this intermission, but I've liked what Missouri State has done, taking advantage of their opportunities. They're trying to test Sievertson as soon as they enter the zone with some quick shots, and they've been successful. And to be honest, it's not, like I said, it's not the pressure I think that they would like, but they're adding pressure as the game goes along, and that's what you want to see from your team.
Well, with 5 minutes left in the hockey game, we saw something similar to this. The Ice Bears with a 4 on the board. So the key is for the third period to what? And I'm talking the entire period.
They've been successful keeping play outside of the slot thus far, I believe, Steve. So they've forced the play to the outside. Steven hasn't had too many great Arizona State chances, and when he has, he's stopped them all. And that's the sign of a good goalie and a good defensive team thus far, and that's key for Missouri State as far as this season's gone.
We'll take a break. Chris Perry, the Western Collegiate Hockey League commissioner, will join us in just a moment. After 20 minutes of play, the Ice Bears have a 4-0 lead over Arizona State.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Back at Jordan Valley Ice Park, the Stan Melton Ice Arena. Steve Casson now with the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League, Chris Perry, is joining us. Chris, thanks so much for making the trek down. I don't believe you may have come last year, but if you did, I kind of don't remember it.
I don't think I snuck into the Jordan Valley Ice Park last year.
I don't think you did.
Sorry to say, I couldn't get in.
It was the other name, but
whichever way, they would not let me in. I did not make it. Yeah. So, but here I am.
You are, and I think you probably saw, and I know for Ice Bear fans, they really don't want to be reminded of it, but I think you saw one of the most unbelievable games yesterday.
That was wild, wasn't it? Holy smokes, 5 minutes to go, 4 goals in the last 5 minutes. I know it was not how Missouri State fans wanted it to turn out, but just from the casual, objective observer, wow, what a game! What a game!
Unbelievable.
That's what college hockey's all about. What a game! You know, they never give up, and it showed. Wow.
Well, and I think I texted you. I said, you've got a lot of fodder for your podcast. You do a podcast.
I do a cheesy little podcast. It's called the WCHL Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and SoundCloud. Me and my doofus buddy, Andrew, we get together and we laugh and giggle and poke each other in the ribs, and we talk all about the week that was in the Western Collegiate League. We talk about the week that's coming ahead. We talk. I kind of have some insight every now and then into the ACHA and what's going on, and so we talk about that. I drop some nuggets of knowledge there, and then we just have a good time. It's just two kids, two dopes sitting around a microphone and having a good time, and so I'll have a lot of fodder to talk about for sure.
Well, and I joke about this, but you're the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. You just took on as kind of interim commissioner for a newly formed league.
That's correct.
You were the ACHA secretary for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, you were dual role in helping out in some other issues there.
Yes.
And you have your regular law practice.
Yes.
And I just wonder, how come your wife, what does she think about all this
stuff? She thinks I'm an absolute idiot, and she thinks I'm crazy, and why do I do this? But, it's Steve, it's the reason why you're doing this. It's the reason why Jeremy's coaching and why Stan Melton is still involved. We have a deep passion for this game and for the ACHA, and for you guys, it's for Missouri State. For me, it was the University of Oklahoma. But we adults.
Well, it's not us.
We're not in this. No. I'm sorry. I just saw the campus for the first time today, and all my times being up here, I just drove through the campus. It's a beautiful campus, wonderful, lots of great facilities. But no, we do this. We're not in this for the money at all, because there is no money in it. We're in this for the passion of the game and for the kids. It's just absolutely wonderful. And these kids do a great job. They are true student athletes. They're paying their way through school. They're paying their way to play hockey, and they deserve as much support and as much backbone, as much enthusiasm, and as much publicity as we can possibly get them. And so that's why I do this. I don't have my son does not play hockey. My daughter does not play hockey. And so I don't have a skin in the game other than I love the game, and I love these colleges, including Missouri State, Steve. And so it's a labor of love.
But you do also have an awesome wife to let you do this, so that's the big key.
She is the best. She is the absolute best. I can't believe she's here with me now on this trip up to Springfield.
Yeah.
Normally she would just say, give me the thumb out of the house and say, see you later, Joker. And but she decided to come along, and she's absolutely awesome, and I could not be able to do this without her.
Chris Perry is joining us, the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. When you envisioned, still getting over a cold, but when you envisioned the Western Collegiate Hockey League, did it turn out to be everything you wanted it to be?
At first, yeah, it did. And now it's turned out to be a lot more. Because at first we were just looking for a little conference that would work for the 2 Oklahoma schools. We had tried for the longest time to get into the Central States Collegiate League with Lindenwood and Illinois and Iowa State. And after about the third time of getting the door slammed in our face, we said, okay, we get the message. And so we decided to form our own little conference. And it was myself and Craig McAllister with Central Oklahoma. And we went to, we knew the 2 Arizona schools were already Division I, and I had spoken with both Colorado State and Colorado, so we worked those guys into it. And then, I got a phone call from Stan Melton a year after our conference started up, and he said, hey, let's add Missouri State and Arkansas to the mix. And so we did, and it's worked out great. 8 teams for a couple of years. And now we're getting ready we've lost a team in terms of Arkansas. They've focused exclusively now on Division III, and we wish them the best. I understand they're killing it down there at that level. They should be, with a bunch of D1 players sandbagging at Division III. But now we're going to add 3 more teams next year, so it'll be a 10-team division. And, 2 5-team 10-team conference, and 2 5-team divisions. So yeah, it's really turned out to be a lot more than I expected.
And that's the thing too, where you look at this league and you look at 3 national championships from this league.
That helps.
Definitely helps. And the teams that come in, I know that one of the things that you said, there's going to be an expansion next year there's going to be an expansion with some teams coming in.
That's correct.
And I know that one of the teams that we've always wanted to play, now we actually get to play them, is UNLV, is coming in Grand Canyon, who will, I know, I'm releasing a little bit of the schedule, but we're going to play them at home next year.
Yep.
So one of the things that I know in talking to you, that you did not want to expand unless you were, in your mind, guaranteed good competition.
Well, that's sure. We had 8 strong teams. We had 8 strong brand names. I mean, our weakest brand name in the conference was our best team at the time, Central Oklahoma, national champions. And so we did not want to water that competition down. Part of the strength of our conference is the strength of schedule that our conference schedules bring. And so if you're winning or if you're playing a Western Collegiate Hockey League a slate of games, that you're playing top quality competition in the ACHA night in, night out. There's no East Handkerchief State that's out there where it's point night. We don't have that in the Western Collegiate League. The Snots? Yes, they are. The Snot is their mascot. You don't want to see them. But in adding Grand Canyon and in adding UNLV and in adding Utah, we add brand names, established Division I programs, and some top competition. So the Arizona schools will be over. Arizona and Arizona State will have GCU, Utah, and UNLV on their side. On this side of the conference, there'll be Missouri State with the 2 Oklahoma schools and the 2 Colorado schools. What the 2 Arizona schools get in terms of savings on their travel budget, they're going to lose in terms of strength of schedule, because Missouri State and Colorado State and Oklahoma and Central, they're all ranked.
Yeah.
Or if not, they're pretty darn close to being ranked. Whereas Grand Canyon and Utah are they're still, finding their legs, if you will, in the world of men's ACHA Division I hockey.
Well, every team had to kind of find their footing, and Missouri State had to do the same thing too. The great thing that is appreciative, I know, from our organization, is we're talking to Chris Perry, the head coach. Head coach.
Don't do that to me, Steve.
No, he's not the head coach, but you have been a head coach. But no, he is the commissioner. I don't know where that came from, of the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League.
Yep.
But I've called you all sorts of different things, so that's
yes, you have.
That's a good one there, right? But one thing that Missouri State has to be appreciative of is not only were they led into the Division I ranks, but one of the stipulations to be led into the Division I ranks is, do you have a conference?
Yep.
And the WCHL was nice enough to say, you know what? I think you're ready. I think you guys have got it.
It made sense. It had to make geographic sense. Couple of criteria. You want to be competitive. It had to make geographic sense. You were within the footprint, and we had to know about the quality of the off-ice organization. You couldn't be a gong show off the ice, and so Missouri State ticked all those boxes as well as Arkansas did, and so it wasn't. It was an easy decision, Steve, to make. It was a very easy decision, and so it also helps when you're new to Division I if you do have a landing place for you, and that's why you had mentioned this other conference I have. I jokingly call it the B conference, but it's not. It's called Midwest College Hockey. It's based more out of St. Louis, with Maryville, McKendree, Waldorf, Northern Illinois, Illinois State, and Midland, and they're all good schools. But 5 of those 6 schools weren't in the ACHA. But they needed a conference, and so we formed a conference. They had a landing spot. We got them a place, and then they needed some doofus to lead them, and here I am.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Yep.
But and that's the one thing that I will say. We talk about Stan Melton, who is the kind of the founder, the godfather of hockey here in Springfield. He was always sending out messages, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. All the time he was sending out messages, but the one thing I like about you, and I don't know if it's due to pity or what, but the one thing I like about you is if I call you, if I got an issue, I know I can call you, and if you're available, you're answering the phone. Hey, what do you got? What do you need?
And if not, I call you right back.
Exactly, and that's something you don't get from a lot of commissioners.
That's right.
And I can tell you right now, from everybody that's listening also, that I absolutely appreciate that 110,000%, because there are times when I have needed your answer right then and there, and that's going to make a decision that affects this hockey club, and I get it from you.
Before I came in here just now to talk to you, Steve, I received a phone call and a text from a team in the other conference that has an issue, and I interrupted the conversation I was having with some folks, and we took care of it right then and there, because I recognize that our teams are playing games right now, and they need answers. They're not calling me just to shoot the bull.
Yeah, hey, how'd that Missouri State game go yesterday?
But nobody calls on Friday or Saturday just to check in and see how things are going.
Yeah.
They have an issue and they need a response immediately, and so I try to be very cognizant and aware of that. My wife, looks at me cross-eyed when I answer the phone at 12:30 at night, but it has to be done.
She understands.
She understands.
And so the big key is now, what's the big cool place that you're going to take her to as a big thank you for the type of person she is?
Well, you're going to get me in a lot of trouble here because I don't really have a place like that lined up.
Oh, well.
I was thinking maybe, Naples, Florida, or St. Louis, or maybe down to Frisco, Texas for the national tournament. But they all seem to have a hockey bent to it, and I don't know that she would want that.
Yeah, it'll be like, nice thought, but thanks. It's because it involves hockey.
Yeah.
I got that when I was dating some people too, yeah.
I'm eager to get her down to Frisco, Texas for the national tournament, because that's going to be another the event last year was very good, and I'm eager to get back down there. I'll be down there again on Tuesday to meet up. I'm still semi-involved with the ACHA, and they're still trying to reel me back in on a semi-official basis. So I'm eager to get back down there. I'm eager to see Missouri State and Arizona and this Arizona State team and Central and hopefully Oklahoma. I think we have a good chance of getting 5 teams this year from our conference into the national field.
It'd be very nice. Well, Chris, when I always end interviews with players, I always wish them more goals. So in this case, I'm going to say, I wish that you do kind of get back with the ACHA, because I liked it when you could tell me some cool stuff going on before anybody else, and that was always nice. So, Chris, but seriously though, thank you so much for what you do, not only for the WCHL, but for the ACHA, for answering my phone calls, and for generally being an awesome guy, and for showing me that roadcaster that I really, really want to get.
It's a brand new toy that Andrew and I use on our podcast. It's pretty awesome. So thank you for the nice words. But Steve, thank you for all that you do here for Missouri State Hockey. I was talking to the Godfather himself, Stan Melton, and we were talking about how blessed Missouri State is to have you and your production and Web Sports Radio. It's you put on a top-notch production, and they don't know how good they have it in Steve Casson here at Missouri State. So thank you for all that you do.
I appreciate it. We better cut this interview short now before we all start crying. Right?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Chris Perry, thanks so much. He is the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll take a break, be back. More hockey coming up in a moment.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Back at the Jordan Valley Ice Park, Stan Melton Ice Arena. Steve Casson, Dan Lee, Mike Wingo on Mediacom 22 camera work for us. Thanks so much. As we're ready for period number 3, the Ice Bears, ranked number 27, ACHA Division 1. 26-27, they're tied for that spot. They're going to skate from the left to the right, and Arizona State, ranked number 13 in ACHA Division 1, from the right to the left. We are underway, and quickly it'll be the Arizona State University Sun Devils with possession of the puck here in the third period. Working away from things is Lackey. He'll bring it across the line. Remember, there's a power play. 1:33 remaining in that power play, and the Ice Bears managed to clear it out. So Arizona State will set things up again. They're going to work it out of their own zone. Behind the net is Lackey. I want to say slowly, methodically, he's going to move it up to center. Studioso across the line. They were trying to get Missouri State to move, and the Ice Bears did not. And immediately they clear it with the Ice Bears all the way down.
Well, we had mentioned earlier, Steve, about Missouri State's inability of passing early on towards the later stages of that second period, and on this power play as well. Arizona State not being able to connect with their passes, and that's what they're needing to do. They or time keeps running down in this game. They got to get on the board quickly.
Kowalchuk, cross ice pass, blast in, saves Stevens as Houston got it. Goes to the corner. Houston to chase it down. Right point, power play for 33 seconds. Houston shot sails to the crease wide. Near side, Hallsworth is there. Off of his stick. It'll go up high to Kowalchuk. Back to Hallsworth. He'll move it. 20 seconds in the power play. Right through the middle, and it's deflected by the Ice Bears. Not enough to go out. Kept in by Hoffenkamp. Over to Kowalchuk. Shot wide. Near side with 10 seconds to go in the power play, and the Ice Bears managed to get it out. Now with 4 seconds. Kowalchuk. He'll set it up. Ice Bears get a change. Across the line, hit inadvertently at the skate of Platt. And now the Ice Bears cannot clear it. Comes up, shot, hit the post. The crossbar, actually. A shot by Platt hit the crossbar. Drive in, save Stevens. Rebound in front, and Missouri State takes it. And the goalie's best friend saves the Ice Bears. Here we come. Across the line, into the zone. A couple of players tangle up. And too far for the stick of Houston. All the way down, this will be an icing call. 17:20 remaining in the period. And Missouri State has a 4-0 lead. And just moments ago, puck hit the crossbar. for Arizona State. Play continues now as the Ice Bears can't keep it in the zone. They touch up offside as Barrett was still in the zone. I would argue that he straddled the line, and it should not be an offside.
That was pretty close, but at any rate, the face-off will come just outside the Arizona State zone with 17:02 remaining in regulation play. Arizona State still outshooting Missouri State 27-17, but the numbers that matter are just above them, 4-0 for Missouri State.
Off the draw, Ice Bears have it. Barrett with a drive, save in by Sievertson. It is cleared, and here might be an opportunity for Slavic. He'll have it left side, drives in the zone. Players hit down low along the near side corner, and it's cleared out to center. Kenneth Miller from Tempe, Arizona. Back in the Arizona State zone to Hoffenkamp. Tim with 3 goals, 3 assists. He's also from Tempe. .38 points per game. Slapped into the Missouri State zone, swung all the way around, and kicked to the corner. It is out to center ice, and the Sun Devils will set it up. Once they get everybody clear, Miller drops it down in low. 4-0 Missouri State. Shots 27-18. We came into the period at 25-16. So each team got a couple of shots here in this period. 16 minutes we're down to here in the third period. 4-0 Missouri State. Lohman, Cooley, Bell, and Baldwin getting his first as a Division I member for Missouri State. Ice Bears still work the puck. Near side board. Can they clear it? Lohman is able to chop it out to center. Here might be a break for Brackbill. He sends it in front, and a shot that goes just wide by Smith. It may have been deflected by the goaltender, but either way, they get a good opportunity. Scoring chance, we'll call it that. I've been overusing the word opportunity for the longest time now. I have to break into the Doc Emmerich words. Shot comes in, the Doc Emmerich school of things. Here comes an opportunity for the Ice Bears. Score! No, they're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off. Ice Bears immediately, the referee says he's going to wave it off.
Well, my guessing, Steve, would be goaltender interference because there was a large crowd in front of the net there for Missouri State. Sievertson was sitting on the ice just prior.
We'll see if that is indeed the case. We'll take a look at it again. So there's a player they're going to say he backed in and ran into the goaltender. So, but now the officials are discussing it. And I don't know if that's the case. I'll tell you what, let's slow it down a little bit and get a better look at it. There's the player that stopped, spun around, kind of ran into the goaltender, but I don't know.
When we had this scenario on the last home series against Alabama where Bell had scored a goal in a similar scenario and Missouri State was awarded the goal. And I'm curious if this is just something where they're saying that Sievertson wasn't able to come back and make a save there, but at any rate, the faceoff's going to come outside the zone, and it's still a 4-0 game for Missouri State.
So they're going to say that man interfered with the goaltender, and it's not a penalty, it's just an infraction, so no goal. Here's a drive by Kowalchuk, missing wide. It's still 4-0. Fans moaning, but that's okay.
They want their Andes.
Yeah, they do. Shot in by Lamphere, moved into the corner. And puck is cleared out to the Ice Bears and Jordan Bratton. He's going to drive it down in low. Kowalchuk gets there behind his own net. Ice Bears get it up the middle, and it's kicked up to the corner. Now to Brown. Drops it in over to Spencer Sollenbach. At the half board, Sollenbach tries to get it through. He does to Hunter Saunders. Over now to the corner, and it is Stuart Hopkins. So the fourth line working for Missouri State here in this third period. Hustled back into the zone, and the Ice Bears will line change. 14:06 to go in the period. 4-0 Missouri State. Bailey Stevens will stop it behind in front goal. It's 4-1.
And some miscommunication there. Steve Stevens went behind the net and thought, my guess would be, he thought there was a Missouri State defenseman nearby to corral that puck, but instead it was Elliot Plord able to get that quickly, spin, and just put it into a gaping open net, one of the easier goals he's going to have.
As Stevens with a very bad play there.
Coming at 13:57 remaining in the third period, scored by number 11, Elliot Plordy.
So Plord gets it probably unassisted, his 12th goal of the season, and it's 4-1. And Dan, we've been in this scenario before.
Well, this is where Missouri State has to put up or shut up. We had seen what had happened last night. Missouri State will have to respond here and keep this at a 3-goal deficit. If not, at the very least, try to extend it as well.
Puck comes in. The Ice Bears miss wide to the right side. Left side, though, as you look at it, right for the goaltender. Now 13:02 remaining. O'Brien gets it on a return pass. Zane to work it. Cut off. Grabbed by Bratton. He's upended and play continues. Bratton sends it down to Barrett. Barrett with the beeline on. Out in front. Shot just missing. As coming out is Sievertson to make the save, and looking to the upper corner was Bratton, and he thought it was in, but Sievertson made the save.
His best of the night by far, Steve. Bratton shaking his head as he was skating around after that play was done. A beautiful pass there by O'Brien to get that puck in front of the net, but I don't think Bratton got all of that. Otherwise, if he had, he might have picked that one top corner over Sievertson's shoulder.
So it's a 4-1 game, and here come the Ice Bears again. Barrett right down the middle, gobbled up and held on to by Sievertson.
And I will say this, Steve, I've liked the response that Missouri State has had from that goal. It was a good response for Arizona State after the disallowed goal, able to take advantage of what they were having. But Missouri State with a nice response, getting a few good quality shots here in the last couple minutes since the goal.
Putting the pressure on, something they didn't do in the last 4:32 of yesterday's game. Lead pass to Shaw. Down in low. Brown for Missouri State. Cuts Shaw off at the goal line. 12:17 remaining. I was just thinking while I paused right there, if we see something like I don't want to see again, I don't know if we ever want Arizona State in this building. Shot comes high and it just misses by Miller. Oh, a big hit in the corner. Falling down is Larson. Comes up the middle. Looking forward is Crunk. Drive that's blocked. Ice Bears down, and they do get a lead pass to Barrett. Barrett, as everybody wants to change, will just shoot it in, and he's fine with that. So a line change for Missouri State. Arizona State will do the same on the back end. Miller will send it out. Sent in by Plord all the way down. Kept in at the right circle. Ice Bears are able to flip it with 11:21 here in the third. Into the ASU zone. Plord is there. Lead pass. It'll go to Studioso, but the Ice Bears catch up with it. Now Lackey in front, and he fanned on the return pass from Studioso. Another shot saved Stevens. Blockered, and the Ice Bears give it up. Oh, offside. It came apparently outside the zone. Big break for Missouri State.
I wish we had an official shot tracker, Steve, because I'd love to see how many chances that Clayton Lackey has had for Arizona State tonight, because I don't know if you've noticed but he's been all over the ice trying to create plays, been going back and forth, trying to start the power play from behind the net, and having a couple great chances. The last one being when I believe Smith tried sliding to take the puck away from the play, and it backfired on him.
He was the catalyst in yesterday's barrage late in the game. And they get an opportunity here that hits the post. That one by Lackey, and then Stevens holds on. So by all accounts right now, we've had a post and we've had a crossbar. This should be a 4-3 hockey game.
It very well could be, and Stevens is taking his lucky stars this period with the second post and or crossbar hit for Arizona State, but this is coming from an inability for Missouri State to clear the zone, something we had seen in the later stages of last night, something that you don't want to get in the habit of again, otherwise it could lead to a goal or worse.
The only good thing about hitting the post is you cannot blame the referees. Drive in, save, as it got blocked. Houston maybe got the shot off, and Rubin will backhand it in for Missouri State. Down in low, chasing it now is Searing. First shift, I think he's played in a while. Comes over to Houston. Ice Bears keep it in. Here's Cooley looking up the middle, broken up by his like 24 Searing, and Cooley's going to go for a slash, but I don't know if we're going to get both. But Cooley will go for slashing. He slashed the stick out of Searing's hands.
Yeah, usually whenever that's the case, and it's an automatic penalty, and the back ref able to call that one. Something you don't want to do 180 feet away from your net is get a penalty. And for Arizona State, their fourth opportunity on the power play just midway through this third period, looking to cut the deficit to 2.
Power play for the Sun Devils, 10.2%, 10 for 98 coming into today's game. Missouri State on the penalty kill, 9 for 51, 82.3%. They have scored 2 shorthanded goals, has Missouri State.
2 minutes for slashing.
So 4-1 right now. We know what happened yesterday. Ice Bears trying to kill this one off. Lackey at the line, and it's kicked out to center as he tried to crisscross with Havner. And Havner back in his own zone to set it up.
Give a lot of credit to Rubin there, Steve, to keep his stick in the zone to prevent that pass from happening and forcing Arizona State to go all the way behind their own net.
9:26 remaining in the period. It's cleared by Missouri State. Ice Bears with a line change, with a 4-1 lead and 9:12 to go. Here is Studioso across the line, working the puck, gives it up high. Lackey back to Studioso, left side, cross ice pass as they tried to hit Havner, and it's cleared. 8:52 remaining.
And just under a minute, Steve, on this penalty kill for Missouri State, and I don't think they've allowed a shot yet. A great job of forcing the play to the outside.
42 seconds to go in the period, in the power play. 8:35 to go in the period. Spinning around is Husted. Shot goes behind the net. Now with it, Husted again. He winds and shoots. Ice Bears block. Chasing is Shaw. Up the middle. Shot up high. Kowalchuk couldn't get it in. Kowalchuk left side again. Up high once for another shot. Save. Rebound. Big save again. Loose. The first shot came from Hallsworth. Now he has it again, does Hallsworth. Drive in, shot, tip, score. It came from Kowalchuk. It's a power play goal because there's 1 second left. It's 4-2.
And great movement there, Steve, for Arizona State. A lot of chances that weren't necessarily hitting the net, but the pucks that were going wide for Arizona State, they were able to corral and keep Missouri State on their heels. A great end of that power play after not getting a shot initially just one shot on that power play, but that goes in for Kowalchuk. And that will be his 10th of the season for Arizona State. And all of a sudden, it's just a 2-goal deficit as Missouri State's going to take a timeout here, try to rally the troops a little bit here with 8 minutes to go in regulation.
That one with 1 second left on the power play. And Stevens not happy about that. 4-2 now. So Kowalchuk should get the goal unless they're going to say, let's catch the call.
University goal coming at 8 minutes remaining in the third period, scored by number 5, Zach Kowalchuk. Assist, number 22, Brian Shaw. Assist, number 7, Jake Halsworth. Missouri State University Ice Bears.
So the Ice Bears give up that power play goal at the 12-minute mark here of the third period. Kowalchuk is 10th, as you said, Dan. Plord his 12th. And now it's 4-2. 8 minutes to go.
We'll have to see, Steve, if Missouri State can weather another Arizona State storm like we had seen last night. Missouri State has had some good responses after Arizona State goals thus far tonight. We'll see if they can do that again.
Brown in his own zone for Missouri State. Ice Bears are able to clear it, and it comes to Cooley. Cooley does get it ahead of a check to Bell. Bell works off of a check, goes to the near side boards. Can they keep it in? They do to the Ice Bears. Fuller up the middle. It's blocked. Here comes Miller. Ice Bears with a small change. Miller down the middle. Nothing but Bears. Lohman to kick it up, and it's not cleared. Held in. Lackey shoots up high. Near side. Kowalchuk. And you, of course, are going to see the benches shortened down now for Arizona State. Miller. Shot just missed wide. It went through the pads of Stevens. And we're going to get a whistle played with a high stick. But, Dan, I know you keep talking about it, but we've had 2 posts. We had one that just went wide. This could be an Arizona State lead.
Well, and if Stevens' pad was just a little bit higher, that puck would have slid underneath and gone through. But once again, Arizona State with a solid start after this goal. And we got to say it again, Missouri State's got to weather the storm a little bit, see if they can turn things around and get more offensive zone pressure.
Across the line in the zone, sliding to break up the attempt is Smith. Now it comes again for a shot that's blocked. Looking for it is Plord. He's behind the net. Plord trying to come around. Shakes off Smith. Plord still with it. Plord working like it's a power play. It's not. It's 5-on-5. Ice Bears can't get control. Backhanders tried to stuffing in front with Studioso, and Stevens will hold on.
Another great chance for Studioso there, Steve. Able to work around the defense. And a good job for Missouri State to keep some Sun Devil players out of the slot for an open feed, but at any rate, Studioso able to work his way around the defense for another chance for the Sun Devils.
Off the draw, it'll be 1, and cleared into the near side boards. Kowalchuk, he's there, gives it to Lackey. Lackey overran the puck, and the Ice Bears will have it. Going to bring it across the line, into the zone. Here comes Bell, but instead it'll be covered up by Sievertson. Good thing Missouri State will have the power play, or will have the face-off in the Arizona State zone. Did I just foreshadow something, maybe?
Well, we'll find out.
That'll do.
But yeah, you had mentioned, Steve, an offensive zone draw here. This is going to be key for Missouri State to win, to see if they are able to dictate some of the play a little bit and try to burn some clock.
Bell wins it, but it is ASU to clear it, and all the way down as it went past the Ice Bears defenseman, one of them, and the second one came back. That ended up being Sam Heiserow. Puck cleared, or actually that wasn't Heiser. I don't think he's in the lineup tonight. That was Lohman that played the defense there. Or was it Heisey? It may have been. It's hard to read these numbers. That's my excuse. Shaw had it go off of his stick. We're going to get maybe an icing. No, the Ice Bears have to come back for it. That's Alex Smith. Gives it a Brackbill. Ice Bears cough it up again. Shot in. Blocker saves Stevens. As once again they cough up the puck. And Husted got the shot. Now battle for it with 4:54. We're coming down to that time, Dan. Pretty close to it. Working is Husted. Have an Ice Bear falling on the puck. Play continues. And still a scrum for it. Now another Ice Bear gets shoved down. Fans want a penalty. It's not going to happen. Dug out by ASU. Shot in. It's blocked by a Missouri State player. That one came off the stick of Lamphere, and now we get a whistle for a penalty. And it goes against Missouri State. It is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
And that was from the bench, Steve. I believe they're talking to either Brown or Brackbill at the moment. Looks like Brown, but somebody was chirping, at least judging from the call, somebody was chirping from the bench at the referees. And the ref, I guess, didn't like what he was hearing and blew the play dead to call a penalty. Not the greatest scenario, especially with Missouri State about to leave the zone in on that play. But at any rate, another power play for Arizona State here late in the game to try to get this deficit to 1.
I know you can't see it as we are using the camera feed from Mediacom 22, but they're discussing it right now. Ice Bears head coach Jeremy Law is livid because of the penalties that should have taken place that did not get called. Rich Pallo is discussing it, and head coach Jeremy Law is absolutely not buying it.
Yeah, that being said, Steve, Derek Smith taking the brunt of that last rush from Missouri State with getting checked in the corner a couple of times and going down on the ice, and then taking a shot towards the end right before that penalty was called. But again, as we had said, a huge opportunity for Arizona State as Missouri State is sending Lohman to serve the penalty.
He was the last one off the ice, so he will serve it. So it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. It's a power play, and Lohman will serve the unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll listen just enough to hear if that's indeed what it was off the bench. But here's Plord. Lackey. Havner. Studioso. Works it into the zone. 1:38 remaining in the power play. Havner waits, he shoots, it's blocked in front by an Ice Bear, and the Missouri State Bears do clear it. Right on goal, too.
Ice Bears penalty coming at 4:28 remaining in the third period. Called on number 10, Jack Brackbill. 2-minute Ice Bears penalty.
Well, I thought it was Lohman. I guess they did get Brackbill.
Located in downtown Springfield.
Well, it looked like as soon as that penalty was called, he came off the bench and started talking with the referee, asking what was going on.
It's got to be a bench minor. Puck to the corner. 1:02 to go on the power play for ASU. Lackey waiting for it, but instead it swings into the left wing corner. Plord got that shot. Lackey, left side. Right side Plord, left side Lackey. Down the middle, tipped in front, saves Stevens. Right out the middle as the tip by Kruk comes the other way, and the Ice Bears are able to clear it. 3 minutes remaining in the third with 28 seconds to go on the power play. And a 4-2 lead for Missouri State. "17 seconds. Arizona State behind the net. Working it to Husted, and it goes off of his stick, and the assistant captain's going to have to chase and pick it up and send it right back over to the corner where Kowalchuk will swing it around. Over to Platt. Double team by the Ice Bears. Missouri State cannot clear it at the line. They finally battle for it and are able to send it out. 5-on-5. Power play has expired. 0 for 4 are the Sun Devils, same as they were yesterday. This should be an icing call, and it is. So the icing will bring it back into the Arizona State end of the ice.
Well, Steve, we've got 2:11 remaining here in regulation, and you have to think at this point you got to ask the question: when is Sievertson going to leave the net with this 2-goal deficit? Because at least from an NHL's perspective, you see teams pulling their goalie with about 5 minutes to go with deficits. So I would expect him to leave once the puck is cleared out of the zone to see if Arizona State can take advantage of with an extra man.
They're going to kick an Ice Bear out of the face-off. That is Saunders. Maddie comes in. Maddie not able to win it. Kowalchuk around the net. Working with 2:06. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender. Across the line, it would have been an offside. Here comes Missouri State. Leading it is Saunders. He shoots, and having trouble with it was Severson, but he makes the save. That was going 5-hole.
Yeah, Saunders trying to pick something either low or to the far side of the net here. Just a little bit of that jersey for Severson looked like was able to keep the puck in front of him, and him able to hold on with just under 2 minutes to go.
Face off again. This time the Ice Bears win it. A shot missing wide by Sollenbach. Gets his own rebound. Sollenbach holds it there. 147. Puck up the middle. Ice Bears have it. Maddie down in low. Return pass. There's nobody there as the Ice Bears were getting back defensively. Working it is Studioso. Into the zone. Kick back out. Missouri State, as the goaltender is still in, has it. And a shot in by Brackbill. Or make that Sollenbach, that is. Missouri State keeps it in. Cooley, he'll work it. Cooley behind the net, looking for a backhander. Can't get to it. Cooley has it pulled from him. Plord is able to grab it. It's out to center. Now, here comes Alex Rubin. He's able to kick it in. Rubin, 4 goals, 3 assists for him. Had a goal in last year's Nationals championship game. And yelling, "Let's go Bears." Cooley with it. Less than a minute to go in the period. Cooley pushed down. Goes to Miller. Out to center. And chasing it down is Plord. Comes to the right dot and not able to get a good shot is Lackey. It is out to center. Hallsworth. Tipped in by Plord. Comes to the corner, up the middle. Another bouncing puck saves Stevens as Husted and Plord were there, and Stevens covers it up. 22.9 seconds left.
Following the bouncing beam there was Stevens as he was able to corral that late in this game. 22.9 remaining in regulation.
They have not pulled their goalie yet as Arizona State.
And that's what kind of surprised me on that last rush, especially with about 56 seconds left, that they didn't pull Severson because they had the puck and were looking to do something with it, but they'll call a timeout, see if they can try drawing something up here in the last 22 seconds.
They're going to take a timeout. We will take a timeout and be back. 4-2 Missouri State. 22.9 seconds left in the third.
Hey, Springfield, are you ready for some hockey?
Here's Barrett.
Left side with the beeline on over to O'Brien. Back to Barrett. Score!
Steve Casson here, voice of your Missouri State Ice Bears. Join us at Jordan Valley Ice Park in downtown Springfield for this year's excitement.
This is head coach Jeremy Law. The Bears are back for another season, so check out our schedule at MissouriStateHockey.com and get your tickets now.
Here come the Ice Bears. Turin with Bell catching up. Turin shoots. Score! Oh, baby!
Back at Jordan Valley Ice Park, Stan Melton Ice Arena. And our next broadcast will be the next Ice Bears home game. That will be 7 o'clock, Missouri State, Central Oklahoma. next Friday, November 22nd. We hope that you will join us for that one.
And that's only looking like more of an interesting matchup with UCO sweeping Lindenwood.
Exactly, and Arizona State sweeping UCO. So how important is this going to be for Missouri State to grab this win? And off the draw, they do win it. And the goaltender is still in, but Missouri State clears it. Saunders to chase. 15 seconds, no icing. Saunders is there trying to work the puck to tie it up. Bell wants to tie it up too. They keep it in the corner. 5 seconds. Here it's flipped up and still in play. Saunders 2-1. It's it. So as you hear the horn, and Missouri State comes away with 1 out of 2 victories this weekend. Quite frankly, they could have had 2 out of 2. But Missouri State does grab the victory here tonight.
When what can we can say, Steve, differently about those last 2 minutes of play? How big was the puck possession for Missouri State in the offensive zone? Not necessarily getting a shot per se, but they're putting the puck in the corner, they're killing the clock, and they did a great job of that going into towards the end of the game, and that was huge to secure this victory for Missouri State.
Missouri State survives the onslaught in the third period. Plord his 12th at 6:03 to make it 4-1. And then on the power play, Kowalczyk his 10th. Shaw and Halsworth with the assist at 12 minutes. 4-2 is where it ends up. Power plays, Missouri State 0 for 2. The Sun Devils 0 for 4. And shots on goal in the third period. The Ice Bears had 9 two-period total. Or take that back. They had 11 two-period total. Let me start this all over. They had 11, a 3-period total of 27 on Sievertson. And Bailey Stevens faced 9 in the third period, 3-period total of 34. What I was thinking about is we have an hour until we have to get over to the Ice Bears Coaches Show. That'll be live on Jock 98.7 FM in Springfield, Missouri. We hope you'll join us for that and on Web Sports Radio. That is live from Civil Kitchen and Tap. So, Dan, your final thoughts on this hockey game here tonight?
Well, obviously, if you're Missouri State, you would have loved a sweep.
Oh, we got our player of the game. Let's hear from our player of the game.
Scored his first Missouri State University Division I team goal tonight. Brandon, how does it feel?
Oh man, it feels great, but I'm just glad we could get that win. It was a big win, especially after last night's game, so hopefully we can just move forward from here on out.
Brandon, you're looking at a top team at Arizona State University, and for the Ice Bears to take on that team and come out with a split, what's your thoughts on that, and how does the team feel?
We feel great. We came out of this game really fired up. Everyone was ready to go, and we showed it on the scoreboard, so we're happy.
Brandon, what do you look for the rest of the season?
Hopefully we can win out and just compete at the best level we can, and we'll see what happens.
All right, congratulations.
All right, that is Brandon Baldwin, the player of the game. But Dan, your assessment of this game for Missouri State?
Yeah, obviously, if you're Missouri State, you would have loved the sweep in this scenario, but a split here does not look bad. Obviously, the computer rankings will have something to say about that once Wednesday rolls around again. But you would think in this kind of scenario, a split with a team that's ranked better than you would benefit you. So Missouri State 27th-ish, tied 26th. We'll see if they can move up. But at any rate, the later stages of that game between tonight and last night, night and day. A much better job for Missouri State with their forecheck offensively to keep the pressure away from Stevens and in the offensive zone to kill time.
Plus for Missouri State to come back and answer back after goals were scored. Big for Missouri State. They improved to 7-6-2 on the season. Arizona State is now 12-6-1 on the season. And the Ice Bears look forward to Central Oklahoma coming in next weekend. That's going to do it here from the Jordan Valley Ice Park Stan Melton Ice Arena as Missouri State splits. They could have swept, but it's okay. They'll take it, and everything's fine, and we're back on track, and the train is kept rolling again as Missouri State does get the victory here tonight. I'm Steve Casson for Dan Dow and for Mike Wingo doing photography from Mediacom 22, who we ended up getting feed from tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, till next week, the Ice Bears win 4-2. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Missouri State Ice Bears Hockey with your host, Steve Casson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Ice Bears Hockey is a presentation of DS Sports Enterprises and WebSportsRadio.com.